is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Big O, we told you we ain't playing no games, man. It's just truly Probably Pablo, Culture, Lord Productions.
Good morning, South Florida.
This is the Big O Show.
You're tuned into the Big O Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Judge, you tuned in to the hottest sports radio show with Orlando, a.k.a. the Big O. He covers all the South Florida teams, from the Dolphins to the Heat, well, you know what I mean. Monday to Friday, Probably Pablo in the Big O Show.
Oh, on the radio, the top's where we gonna go. Miami, that's the way we roll. Locked on the morning show, Big O. No one has a similar show. Talk sports, talk plays, talk live and direct. Because nobody do it better than Big O in the set. From sunrise, listen live, it's the best of the best. He's got the fans, got the heat, he's the best of the best. Big O, the only talking sports with a style. Break it a morning, it's Big O-N. Thank you for tuning in, keeping it glued in. Stay tuned, because right here's where the rumors in. Same place, because right here some of them begin. Simply call and just state your opinion. Real talk, sports talks, the Big O Show. Yeah, you love it, yeah, you like it, call them and let them know.
Culture, Probably Pablo, now introducing the man of the hour, Big O, a.k.a. Orlando Alcigaris. Yeah.
And roll. Welcome aboard from beautiful Toyota of Hollywood, where we're at every single Thursday broadcasting live. Come on out and join us. Get a great deal on an automobile, of course. And you can get a great lease. You can buy a great car like I did. I got my Camry XSE, which that's right, it's parked right out. I can see it from here. It's what I love. I can actually see my car from here, which is a beautiful thing. And I enjoy that ride every single day. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, welcome aboard. We're going to have some fun here on the program for a couple of hours. We got a bunch of things, actually, to talk about here on the show. Got some great sound also we'll share with you. I mean, it's just a really good day overall. Got some music stuff I want to get to. I'm sure some other stuff will be breaking as the day goes on, and we'll get into a lot of that other stuff there on the program. Again, we're at 1841 North State Road 7, and that's Toyota of Hollywood, which just a couple blocks south off that big beautiful guitar on the turnpike. You know what I'm talking about? So we're just a couple blocks south there. So come on by. We'll be out here. I mean, we end like at 2, but you know me, I went to like 2:40 yesterday, so I have no idea. I give you a time when we're going to end, but, you know, just in case. But if you do want to come on out here and you want to, you know, come by to say hi, which we would love to meet any of you out there, come on by over here at 1841 North State Road 7. You can come out now. You can come out of your house now, okay? And this is a good time to come see some of the beautiful cars that we got out here, too, at Toyota of Hollywood. So, you know, we'll be out here. And, again, many ways to chime in on the program. On Twitter, at Big O Show, always active. I got to do something that I have not done because we do a lot of it on the YouTube chat board. The super chat on YouTube chat board obviously gets your question, you know, front and center in front of everybody, as always. We've got the accidentlawfirm.com text line, 786-322-1105. I've got my Twitter page open, and it's always really active, but we haven't really been using it as much on the show. And so it's after show and all that. It's always active. So I'm going to have it up the entire time. So if you guys want to send in a question, a comment on Twitter, because you got your Twitter page right in front of you at Big O Show, then go for it and do it and send it in, and we'll do our best there on the program to to get to those questions. Again, if you want to get in, you got many different ways. And we've got a bunch of things. First of all, let's get into a little Miami Dolphins talk, because we always love talking Dolphins on this show. It's always one of those hot button topics. And we see a story that comes out of the NFL Network, and Michael Girardi, he is talking about the Dolphins, that they're getting calls about Josh Rosen. And I love this because remember who the Dolphins have on their side. They have the guy in Chris Grier that says, hey, we want Laramie Tunsil. We'll give you a first rounder. Thanks, we appreciate it, but, that's what we spent on him. Okay, hey, you know what? We want him badly. We'll give you a first and a second rounder. We really like Laramie, and he's a cornerstone player. He's a future of our franchise. Well, you know what? Let me tell you something. We'll give you 2 first rounders and a second. Tunsil's one hell of a player, man. He's going to protect the blind side of our quarterback, even though we're drafting Tua. Anyway, so, we really love Tunsil. All right. Last offer. We give you 2 first rounders, a second, and we'll take Kenny Stills off your salary cap. So that's another $8 million. Done. Let's go. So the guy didn't flinch after 1 first rounder, after 2 first rounders, after 2 first rounders and a second, and then he needed more relief from the cap, and then he said, okay, now you can have him. So you got a guy that is going to be very patient. You got a guy that traded Ryan Tannehill. He had to be a little creative, but again, these are things that they never did in the past. They would have just released him. And let's play the soundbite from Michael Girardi talking about Josh Rosen and the Miami Dolphins and what the interest around the NFL.
Meanwhile, in Miami, they've got 3 different quarterbacks. Ryan Fitzpatrick is the incumbent. Led them in passing, actually led them in rushing last year. Fitzpatrick coming back again for another season. Will he be the tutor for Tua, or will he be the guy that carries the job all year long? Fitzpatrick said, look, I'm here because I want to play, and that is what I'm planning to do. I'm planning on playing. But he says openly to Tua and to Josh Rosen, the 3rd quarterback, hey, guys, pick my brain. I have been through so many different things. I have made so many bad throws, so many good throws. I am here for you as a resource. And quickly on Josh Rosen, by the way, the forgotten man, teams called the Miami Dolphins about Rosen's availability this offseason, and thus far, the Dolphins are in no hurry, Colleen, to trade.
Now, I love that. There's the short-sighted Dolphin fan doesn't understand this. You'll hear an idiot right away say, well, no, why don't you trade him? Hurry up, trade him. Move him right now. And we just had this conversation about X-Man. Oh, they signed Byron Jones. Are they going to trade X? No, they're not. Oh, they drafted Noah. Are they going to trade X? No, they're not. Why don't you trade X? What did I explain to you before? You don't trade X now, fresh off a domestic violence issue and a knee scope. No, dude. You wait a year, so he bounces back. He plays like a Pro Bowler this year, stays away from trouble. A year is removed from all this mess. And now you've got a new person, a new page, and the value is back up again. Now you can move them. Okay? That's what you do. With Rosen, you do the same thing. If you trade him now, you're not really going to get much. And if you trade him now, you also don't have an insurance policy for Tua. I keep telling you guys, he needs to be, and I'm talking about Tua, he needs to be on the bench early in the season. Rosen should be your backup at this point in time. There's no reason you can't get much for Rosen now. So what you try to do is you try to build value. You own him for a few more years. It's not like he's going anywhere. You got 3 years left on him. This year and 2 more. I mean, well, the 5th year if you want it. But my point is, you still have plenty of time to make that decision. And you have plenty of time to actually grow the value. And you have plenty of time to wait for injuries and desperation to sit in around the league. Now you have no leverage. You have to try to build that leverage. And one of the key things that will be maybe important will be the preseason, because I don't believe Tua's really going to play at all in the preseason. With that hip injury, I think they'll practice him, but I don't think they want him to take any kind of contact, especially in a preseason. Like I told you before, I told you the offensive line needs to get settled. Can you imagine trying to do it in a preseason? Come on, man. A shortened off season, all that. So it's just not realistic. So if Rosen goes out and has a solid training camp in preseason and starts to look better and more comfortable, and maybe even to the point that in the first couple of games of the year, he plays parts of those games and he displays, consistency, then all of a sudden he starts to look different around the league. And now you start to build that value back up again. So for anybody that has this short-sighted approach, oh, no, yeah, get rid of him. Well, first of all, you don't know where Tua's at. Second of all, you're giving him away. So you have an opportunity to build value. You're not in a hurry. This is a slow process. I get it. We're in a microwave society. We want to put in 60 seconds, and we want our instant soup done. I totally understand that, okay? But that's not how this is done. You have to do things patiently, and you have to wait, okay? And that's what this guy does. Greer waits. He has patience. And I think he'll do the same thing in this case. I think he'll wait, and he'll try to build value back up again with Josh. And there's other reasons, too, that maybe also why you lost a little value with Josh, and we'll get into that later on the program. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, for me, I saw that story, and I said right away, okay, this is, and I love the part of the story where the Dolphins are like, yeah, we're not interested right now. And you shouldn't. You shouldn't. Because you got to get to a point, hopefully, where you can get back to getting a decent pick. Because you can't get a decent pick for him right now. And remember, if you're able to get a second or third rounder, the part I want to explain to you all out there, or even a fourth rounder for him, okay? Oh, but they gave up a second rounder. Well, technically, they gave up a half a second rounder because they made a second rounder into 2 second rounders, okay? And so they drafted their second rounder this year off of New Orleans, and then now they got another second rounder in Josh Rosen. So technically, if you trade him and you get another second rounder, you traded your second rounder and got back 2 second rounders, or you traded your second rounder and got a second and a third, or a second and a fourth. You understand what I'm saying? So either way, you end up benefiting, but you got to build that value back up again. And right now, trading him, you'd be lucky to get a 5th or 6th rounder from a team. And what does that do for you? It's why you turn off my mic? I can't hear anything. What's going on? Are you sure my mic's on? Okay, because I don't hear anything. My headset, there we go. All right, now it's the connection. All right, anyway, my headset was gone there. So you build it back up again. You now do your job as a general manager, do your job as a coaching staff, and obviously do the responsible thing for your team. Because the responsible thing for your team now is not that you can't count on Jake Ruddick. So you have to keep Josh Rosen because he's the healthiest number 2 quarterback you have on your team. Okay? Well, him and Jake. Tua's not there yet. And you don't want to put him in that. Again, not a hurry. The silly, when I know you know nothing about football, when you want to start Josh Rosen in week 1, when you want to get, Tua in week 1, when you want to get rid of Rosen right away and have no insurance policy whatsoever just in case Tua has any kind of setback, he is injury prone. We still have a training camp and preseason to go through. Even if he doesn't take a hit, he could still suffer an injury. He can still suffer setbacks. And then where are you? That's why you need Rosen. So it shows me a lot when I see people, say things irresponsibly like that, and they don't put thought into it, and they don't put themselves in the position of the team. You know what I mean? It's great to have your own agenda and your own point of view, but there are facts, there are realities that are in the way, and these are the facts and realities that I shared with you that I think that's why you have to show patience now and hold off in moving Josh Rosen at this point in time. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. We got the YouTube chat board going already. The super chat is there also waiting for you. Many ways to reach out to us on the program. A little roll call. Let's see who's chiming in already. Matthew Walker, Samuel Robina, John Rouse is in the house. Troy Ortiz, Marta Farinas is in the house. King Short, Ian from Brooklyn, Dominic Veluso says, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's been a while. I was out of town last week picking up a beautiful red-nosed pit bull puppy. He's a beast, which is why we named him Beast. Nice, Dominic. Good for you, my brother. Enjoy the dog. I love dogs. What's good? Go Doll fans from Miami. Dollaz 305. Corey Hardling. Damn, that's a long-ass name, bro. I'll go with Miami Dollaz. Okay? All right, and I take your name as Laz. Let's see what else. Lewis Jones says, Big O, sports playoff games should be rolling in July. NBA, NHL, baseball should be rolling also. Can't wait. Yep, at least that's the plan. Got to get it back. Just got to do it responsible. Let's see if we can keep it together. Radically says, Big O, what do you think of the report of O'Shea being let go for being too complicated? I will talk about that shortly. So hang in there. That's definitely one of the stories that's on the agenda. Troy Ortiz says 100% agree with you, Big O. Thank you, sir. King Shore says Big O spitting facts. Gus 1388 says love that open. I'm jamming, bro. Thank you. Appreciate it. Alex Diaz says me and my buddy were talking about this yesterday, and he would trade Rosen and start week 1 and trade him after the four weeks of the season. I killed him for that. You know why you got to kill him for that, Alex Diaz? Because it also shows your friend knows nothing. What if Rosen's not ready to start in week 1? What if he's not comfortable with Changeli's offense? You know, I love how we put the cart before the horse. Yeah, I'd start him, and then by week 4, I'd trade him. Because, at week 4 for sure, he would have performed at a high level for 4 weeks, and we'll have teams lined up to trade for him. I know it. It's like the poor kid's had 2 brutal years. His mind is spinning, and you already have him with a short offseason, a short preseason, starting, and able to play at a high level and trade him in the 4th week after the 4th. I mean, it's really, Alex, what I would ask your friend is, whatever dope he's smoking, you need some of it. He needs to share with people. It's some pretty good stuff if it makes you think like that. You know what I mean? Think about that. Maybe he's smoking the seeds. That's probably what it is, because I'm probably insulting people that actually smoke weed and have sense, not just common sense. That guy, I think, Alex, your guy is smoking the seeds and the branches. That's what's going on. He's grinding all of that, and then that's what he's enjoying. I hope he got his grinder at VSS West Pines. Okay? They got great grinders there, so check it out. Anyway, 786-322-1105. I mean, really, some of the stuff that fans come up with, it's just awesome. Now, media comes up with it too. In that same report by Michael Girardi from the NFL Network, he talks about the Patriots quarterback situation, right? And this is so entertaining for me. And as a Dolphins fan, having suffered at the hands of the Patriots for so long, I am so looking forward to the changing of the guard now. 'Cause it's coming. Belichick's going down, okay? I'm telling you, he's going down. But I love this report by Girardi. Now, I can tell this report, he got it fed to him by somebody in the organization. And then he's kind of repeating it verbatim. The question is, does he actually believe what he's saying? listen.
Well, for starters, as long as Cam Newton is just hanging out there, people are going to continue to attach him to the Patriots. But right now, they're operating with the 4 quarterbacks they have in the room, including the 2 that you know, Jarrett Stidham, coming off his rookie season, the 4th-round pick from Auburn, and Brian Hoyer. In an ideal world, Jarrett Stidham wins the job whenever camp starts and does what they want him to do and becomes the next quarterback behind Tom Brady. But Brian Hoyer is not here just to be that veteran guy that he leans on. Brian Hoyer knows the system, has the trust of the offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, and Bill Belichick. So he will push Jarrett Stidham. And if Stidham is not ready, don't be surprised at all if Brian Hoyer begins the season as a quarterback.
I love when people talk of Brian Hoyer. I mean, Brian Hoyer sucks. He really now, he is the definition of sucking. You know, sometimes I'll have fun with Tannehill, and he doesn't suck. You know, he's average at best on his best day. He's a decent facilitator at times, but he's never going to be a difference maker, never going to elevate your team. And, you know, you could get your frustrations out on him at times, but he's not a terrible quarterback. Brian Hoyer is a terrible quarterback. And if Jarrett Stidham isn't ready after a year, then that's going to be a setback for the Patriots. I'm going to love it. I hope Brian Hoyer plays against the Dolphins because I think X will have 3 interceptions on him in the first quarter, okay? And Byron Jones will then have 2 more in the second quarter. And then Bill Belichick's going to look around and take, you know, maybe his finger out of his ear and then put somebody else in there. I can't wait. I can't wait because for me, their quarterback situation, I like Stidham because he's one of those project guys that I liked last year, but he's a project and he hasn't played. If he was a Dolphin or he's a Patriot or he's a Buck or he's a Seahawk or whatever, I would tell you the same thing. He's a kid and he hasn't played. He's probably going to struggle a lot. It's normal to struggle when you're that young and that inexperienced. But please play Brian Hoyer. Oh, man, let's go. I want to see what kind of genius you are if you think, because, you know, when people say, well, he's a vet and he knows the offense and this, he's terrible. I mean, if I'm a defensive player, I'm licking my chops that I get to play against Brian Hoyer this week. I can't sleep the whole week knowing I'm going to play Brian Hoyer. I would have a serious insomnia problem. I mean, I already kind of have it already in my life. But if I was like X or Jones, and I know I'm playing Brian Hoyer this week, my enthusiasm would be through the roof. I can't wait. I am so off the Patriots, you know, respect bandwagon and all that stuff. You got rid of the wrong guy, bro. I'm sorry. You don't get rid of the eraser. And that's what Brady has been forever now. And I don't think they have the kind of great team around Stidham like they did with Matt Castle, and that they were able to carry Castle as far as they did to 11-5. And Castle's terrible. Okay? I'm just saying, man. It's one of those that I kind of laugh, and I'm really going to enjoy it. I really am. I think too many people fall back on that season in 11, and they think that that's going to be normally Belichick, that he can win 11 games with anybody. And that team was awesome. Okay? Awesome. If Stidham can't beat out Hoyer, that tells you something about Stidham. That's so true, Samuel. Hoyer is good for 3 picks against us. I would blitz him on purpose to make him force throws. Whether you want to blitz him or not, Samuel, they're going to crush his ass. I mean, the Dolphins secondary is going to be a lot of fun to watch. this is the thing that I can't wait for this Dolphins season, okay? Because I saw, just like you did, the additions in the secondary. I know X now is going to be healthy. He's had plenty of time to rest that knee, okay? So we should get back a Pro Bowler. They had no pass rush last year. They added several guys on their pass rush. They added linebackers. They added everything to this team on defense. So they're going to be better. I like the Texas safety that they got too. And what's it called? And then on offense, they added a bunch of linemen. So they addressed something that they needed badly. You've got, not only did you address it, you addressed it to the point that you could have depth or competition. One of the two, or both. Who knows? If the backup's almost as good as the starter, then you got some serious competition. If he's a step under, well, then now you got depth. You know? I just, to me, I just expect this Dolphin team to be much better, man. I really do, because I know they've got good coaching. So now you start to add more talent to it. The equation is pretty simple to add. I don't need to even ask Bill because I don't have letters involved. I can do the addition and the subtraction. I can handle that. If there's some X's and some Y's and Z's, I'll call them and we'll try to figure it out. But I can do this math. Most of us can do this math. This Dolphin team is superior to the team that won 5 games last year, to the team that was brand new, to the team that had no idea what they were doing, to the team that didn't even know each other. You know, Ryan Fitzpatrick introducing himself to linemen that he had never met the first week of the season? Yeah, that team. That's not this team anymore. So they should be better just from that. Now you add talent and you add a solid year of coaching that you hope that's the same, that's the same spoon that's stirring the pot. And I'm sorry, I said pot. Alex Diaz, I hope your friend's not listening. Anyway, so, just stirring it up. To me, how are you not looking forward to this Dolphin season? You know what I mean? And this is going to be a team, I believe this is a team that's going to surprise people in the NFL, is what's going to end up happening. That's how this team develops. It develops to the point that it surprises people in the NFL like, holy crap, in 2 years, they're already doing this? I remember what did I say last year before the season started? Did I not say that Chris Grier is going to start a trend by tearing it down the way he did to build it back up again? Did I not say that?
Yeah, be the innovator.
Right.
The one that shifts and that way you develop your team. Like, you don't have to wait, like we talked about, 2, 3, 4 years. Like, you could turn it over quick.
And we saw, we talked about this last year because the Cubs did it. The Astros did it. They've done it in other sports. Nobody's ever really done it in football where they actually tore it down to the bone. All right? Nobody has done this. There has been turnovers of rosters. That's happened over time. Nobody's tore it down to the bone. Okay? Nobody has ever done that. And trust me, this is going to be a trend because this season, when people see the Dolphins kick ass, and I'm not talking about that they're going to the playoffs. I'm just talking about when they improve and they win 7, 8, or 9 games this year. People are going to see the trend that they went from 5 to 7, 8, or 9, but they're going to see a much better team on the field, a way more competitive team throughout the entire season. There are going to be very few spots where there's going to be games that they're just out of it. And here's the other thing. Like I told you guys earlier this offseason, with this shortened offseason, with less time to prepare and all of that, I give Brian Flores an advantage over almost everybody. Why? Because he did it all last year. My Lord, he was adding people, I just told you, right up to the first week of the season. They traded for linemen, added guys, and all throughout the year, they were filtering guys in and out. One guy would start one week and disappear the next. And you're like, what happened to that guy? He came in and he played and he left. This guy sucked and he's gone. They signed this guy and they found something. You know, that's how it is. And for anybody to adjust the way he did from week to week with a different roster every week pretty much, I think Brian Flores is one of the best suited coaches for this kind of offseason. Another advantage for the Dolphins. How are you not looking forward to this season? That's why I can't wait for this season to take place. It sucks that you guys will not be in the stands, okay? I say you guys because I'm comfortable watching on television. I got no problem. I'll go to a game or two or something like that. If I go on the road, then I probably enjoy it. But if I'm at home, I'd rather watch it on my big, beautiful TV, rewind, take notes, all that. I'm better prepared to do my job. If I was just Joe Fan, then I'm with you guys in the stands. You know what I mean? But if I got to work in, I got to do a post game or whatever, I gotta definitely, watch it on a TV and, take notes. And because you know how it is. At a game, you're not going to see everything. You know how I don't have to tell you guys that. So you know what I'm talking about. But it's just too much, man. That's why I feel like people are still overlooking the Dolphins to a certain extent. I think people realize that they had a really good offseason, but I think they think they're so bad, which is the perception, and it really wasn't the perception by the end of the year. I mean, if you're 5-4 in your last 9 games, you can't be too bad. But I think they still look at them like they need so much, and it's true, they still need a lot. But I think they're going to, again, prove people wrong, and they're going to be extremely competitive week in and week out. And I think we're going to have a hell of a season. I really do. All right, first half hour is done. We are out here at Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. Come on by and say hi. Don't forget, folks, EJD Construction is a proud sponsor of our program. Call Eric right now. I'm not talking about a handyman. I'm talking about custom home construction and major home remodeling. Save this number. Save it on your cell phone right now. 305-318-4978. They're COVID-19 ready. They use the gloves, the masks, along with all other OHSA requirements. And they arrive at your house at their sales appointment with masks and gloves. And first responders will get developer rates. So please call Eric right now. I was actually talking to Eric yesterday. 305-318-4978. You want to improve that man cave. You want to redo that front yard, the backyard. You want to add an addition to the house. Whatever it is you need, EJD Construction. Call Eric right now, 305-318-4978. Tell him that Big O sent you, EJDconstruction.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
out here at, of course, Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. And I see one listener here says, the media gives the Patriots too much respect. And, let me tell you something. It's not really about the media giving the Patriots too much respect. It's the way we develop in our society, okay? When the Yankees and Jeter and company and Bernie Williams and all those guys are winning all those titles, you earn a certain level of respect, and there's an expectation that comes with it, and then there's a level of laziness for all of us. Because when you're that good, you just defer to it. And you do it to the Patriots. You do it to Shaq and Kobe with the Lakers. You do it with Magic and his Lakers. You do it with Bird and his Celtics. You do it with the Celtics back in the 60s. That's just the way it is. When Tim Duncan and company are on a roll, it's not because you're in love with Tim Duncan because he does all the right things and he's such a good dude and a great teammate, and Ginobili and Parker are taking less to accommodate and all that, and you respect the hell out of that. But the winning comes. Another title, another title, another title, another title. Here at Toyota of Hollywood, they kick everybody's ass in the Southeast United States. Everyone's ass. Every Toyota dealership in the Southeast United States wish they were this one. Because somehow or another, Steve Ostrov and company kick everybody's ass. That's what comes with success. So it's not that they give the Patriots too much credit. It's when you win 6 titles, you get it. When you're the Yankees and you have 27 titles, you get it. When the Steelers are on their roll, you get it. It's part of life. And that's the way we look at things. The Astros, up until the cheating scandal and everything that happened, you were like, well, no, hey, man, the Astros are kind of like the new Yankees. They're buying the players. They're doing everything, but they didn't get that other title. So it didn't put them over the top, and they didn't get to that point that they were going to get that respect. If the Seahawks would have won that second title, they would have started getting that kind of, okay, we're expecting them to win the third one and the fourth one, but they didn't get over the hump. But once you start winning, like the Bulls, another title. Michael Jordan's been retired already forever, and to this day, we all say the Houston Rockets won 2 titles that the Bulls would have won. Whether the Rockets like it or not, that's going to be the perception. That will be the narrative. That's what we're going to ingrain in our minds. Why? Because Jordan was dominating at that time. So it's not really that the media is giving the Patriots too much respect. It's that the Patriots have been on top forever. And it's over. The run is over. They're going to be a middling team now. And I'm going to laugh, and I'm going to see how Belichick gets out of this one now. And I think so far with the quarterbacks he has, because Stidham hasn't proven anything, at best, he's not going anywhere to the playoffs this year. I mean, they'd be lucky to get to 500 this year. Okay? They're going to be a 6 to 8 win team, I think. But I want to see how he does get back to that. Again, when he had Tom Brady, it was the eraser. He got rid of the eraser. You don't do that. He pulled the Jerry Krause. And I think he's going to pay the price. And you can get rid of Peyton Manning when Andrew Luck's coming. You can feel, good about replacing a star when you've got another star coming in. But if you don't have that plan in place, and Krause did not have that plan in place, that's why they never even made it to the playoffs throughout his tenure after that. He had a great run, and I know that they put him into the Basketball Hall of Fame, but I kind of question that because you get it on a great run. Like when I look at Pat Riley, he won it with the Lakers. Okay, built by Jerry West. Then he goes to New York, and he helps build that team and the culture. And they get to a finals, and they have a lot of success, and he builds a culture. The culture that stayed there throughout the Van Gundy era, it ran out, but that was Riley's culture, not Van Gundy. Van Gundy just piggybacked off of Riley's culture and what he left there. And it stayed there for a little while until it died out finally. And then he comes to Miami, and he has built all kinds of teams that have won. That's when you prove to me that you're an amazing general manager, that you can do it with different teams. Krause did it with one team only. And he got lucky that the one player he picked was the GOAT. So I don't think it's the Patriots getting too much respect. Watch how they fall off the cliff now. Okay? I'm just telling you. Watch how they fall off the cliff now, and watch how they don't get the same respect anymore a year or two from now. Why? Because now the media will see, yeah, they lost Brady. They lost a lot. They're not the same team anymore. And you'll see. And without Brady, I don't know if you have the same conviction of people wanting to join you and thinking that you're going to win everything because you don't have the GOAT anymore. I mean, Jarrett Stidham is going to have to be a miracle worker to keep it going for them. Is he that? I don't know. It's one we're going to find out. Let's see. What do we have here on the text line? Chillin', bro, waiting on that Madden match. You start Fitzpatrick. I'll start Rosen, Miami versus Miami. Let's get it. I guess a FanDuel guy is talking to another person about it. Big O, I hate betting on the Patriots, but I'm all in on Belichick winning over 8 games. Okay, I don't think he wins. I don't think he wins over 8 games. I can see him getting to 8, no more than that. EM Dolphin fan says Rosen will not be on the opening day roster. I would bet anything that he will be. Let's see. King Short says top 10 defense. That would be nice. That would be nice. Big O, my spidey senses say the world is healing and NFL will have a full season with fans in the stadium. I made sure there were no seeds, dude. Well, I'm telling you, no fans in the stadiums. You can forget about that, my brother. They can't do that. It's called lawsuits. Okay? You can't do that. You start packing people in stadiums, they get sick, they die, they sue the NFL for not having safety procedures and having us and all that, and there's no vaccine. They're not going to do that, man. It's tough enough. You have to remember, they're overcoming a lot with just the players. Okay, players, trainers, coaches, broadcasters, all of that. You know what? Let me get into another thing that I saw as I was prepping. Al Michaels. Because I'm telling you about you talk about fans, and I get in NorCal, you're hardcore, you want to go to your Dolphin games. You're not. Okay? You might go to the Vegas one because we'll all hang out at Tommy Rockers and we'll enjoy Vegas, but we won't be in the stadium probably. And that's in December. Okay? But like the San Fran Denver one, you can forget about that. There won't be fans. Those cities, especially you're in California. You know what I'm talking about. They're even tight. New York and California are going to be the worst. They're going to be the last to open up their stadiums. So they're not going to open themselves up to any lawsuits, man. They're just not. Everybody sues everybody in this world. And Al Michaels, by the way, was asked about doing the games from a monitor. And Al Michaels says when it comes to calling NFL games during COVID-19 pandemic, he stands firmly against working from a remote location. The broadcasting legend was asked to weigh in on how the coronavirus measures could affect pro sports announcers moving forward. Al didn't hold back. He goes, I would hate to think that we would not be able to be in the stadium and announce the games from some other location. He told the Post. That would not fly as I'm concerned. You have to be able to feel it without fans. Mike also says he's not super worried about the disease, confident he'll be safe if follow protocols. I'm at the point that I've done this my whole life. I'm not a fearful person. I understand that we have to take precautions here. And I got to tell you something. They better not be ridiculous to the point that they're not going to allow the broadcasters in the building. They're nowhere near the players, dude. You close up the glass, okay, and you let them have at it, and they can watch the game from up in the booth, and they can call the game. It's only the players and the coaches and the trainers and the broadcasters. That's all you need. The broadcasters can come in through another entrance, right? They don't even have to come in the same entrance with the players. They can come in through the main entrance, take the press box elevator up. They're the only ones that are going to do it anyway. And what? That you have to hire a security person at the elevator, at the press elevator, and the bottom and the top, and that's it. And what? You have a couple of people that are going to cook some food, or you cater it in, and that's it. You don't even have to have anybody there. Just have somebody that maybe takes care of the food, serves it for them, and it's only a couple of people, a producer, an engineer, a couple of engineers, a couple of producers, and the broadcasters. Big deal, man. Those people can, and they can space it out in the press box, all that. Oh, please. This is not rocket science, okay? Well, you can figure this out. And the broadcasters need to be there. They can be there. Those are the only people that should be there. And, of course, obviously every team media relations person has to be there. They have no choice. But that's it. It's you have a whole stadium to yourselves. I mean, give me a break. There'll be plenty of space, plenty of things to accommodate everybody. You can do it in a very safe fashion. I mean, every day, every week, Bill and I broadcast at 3 places. We have no problem. We keep our distance. We're not shaking hands with people. We're not having all kinds of, funky situations. No, man. We're fine. We're good. If you take precautions, if you're fine, if you're responsible, don't go hanging around 30 people. Don't go into crowded parties. Don't go to a concert. Not that there's any. You know what I mean? Just be cool, and everything will work out. It's funny how that is. 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always on Twitter, because that's like a 24-hour talk show there on Twitter. Let's see what we got. I know that we've got some text line stuff coming in. Let's be good about it, and let's get to some of these text questions. Although I did something funky to my text machine. I hit something, and now the messages come in, but they're randomly all throughout when they would all come up by, to the top. So now I've got to scroll and try to find them and stuff, which is really, really odd. I'm telling you, it's so weird. All right, here we go. Paul in Connecticut. They should keep Rosen around like they did Matt Moore. With Tua's injury history, it would be nice to have Rosen be there if he ever went down. Very true. Very true. I gotta tell you, Paul, because you got to think about it. You have him for 2 more years, all right, and 3 if you want to tag him, which I doubt you will, if Tua's successful. But you're going to get rid of Fitz probably after this season. So you'll have Rosen for 1 more year. You could also save him and keep him to be Tua's backup the following year. Okay? And then you could draft another young quarterback, too, to become kind of a project. So that's another way of kind of doing it. Big O, I would not trade Rosen for anything at this point. The best you can get for him is a 7th rounder. It would be like trading away Brandon Marshall, not having a plan in place. Oh, the Dolphins would do something like that? Trade Brandon Marshall and not have a plan in place? Nah. They would do that? Good morning, Big O. If Stidham struggles, what are the chances Belichick signs Flacco instead of Cam Newton? Tom in Seattle. He's certainly not signing Cam Newton. Cam Newton's not his kind of guy. He's not accurate. And he has to run a completely different offense just for him compared to all the other guys he has on the team. Flacco, I think there's a chance, but I think he'll try and go with these guys. But Flacco would actually be a really good fit for him. That actually would not be a bad fit. That's a nice call on your part. I didn't even think about Flacco for the Patriots. I mean, I hope not, because I want him to stay with the young guys so they can make all kinds of mistakes. Not that Flacco scares me or anything like that at this point. He's had so many injuries and stuff, and he had his moments already. But, I kind of want to see, because I think he's so hard-headed and set in his ways that I think he's going to fail miserably because of it. So we'll see. I might be wrong, and maybe I should give him more respect, because he's earned it. Sign a waiver that you are not going to silently spread to 100 people for the next 2 weeks after the game ends. Huh? The players are young and have limited risk from COVID-19. The old coaches and officials need to worry but can wear masks. Meanwhile, there are kids that are developing some serious conditions now. This thing affects everybody, bro. This whole thing about you think it doesn't affect young people, you can get it. Now, does it mean that you're more susceptible than old people? Of course not. Old people are more susceptible. People that have prior conditions, that's also scary for them because this thing will finish you out. Whatever prior condition you have, then you get this and it finishes you out. But you got to stop with this thing about young people. Young people are not immune from this. They still have not nailed down what's in our specific DNAs because it affects young people too. And right now there's a certain thing that's going on with kids that's some scary stuff. And they're trying to figure it out. And it's growing. Okay? Bromar says if Rosen can't beat out Fitz for the starting job, then he ain't worth a second. Yeah, but at this point, it's hard for Rosen to beat out Fitz. And in this scenario, he's now playing for a coach that Fitz knows inside and out and knows his offenses. So again, mentally, he's so much ahead. Some of you out there, you got to be more realistic about this. And there's a shortened off season. He doesn't get to play right now with the guys in the new system. They would have their mini camps already. They would have already had one right after training camp. And then they would have had one, I think, right now in June, they would have had one. So they don't get any of that stuff. How do you expect Rosen to leapfrog over Fitz when there's no offseason right now? And then training camp will be limited. You guys got to be more realistic about this stuff. The Onion headline, giant demonic hand burst out of ground, drags Bill Belichick to hell. Love it, Pat in Nashville. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Oh, we got a super chat. Josh, thank you. Thank you. Super chat it, baby. Go.
Oh, wow.
Recent research has shown
super chat.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, you're getting focused on all the wrong sort of details here. You need to forget about all the normal rules that apply in society.
Wasted no time. Super chat. I thought it was really, 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 really cool.
You should all be very proud of yourself.
I have no response.
Super chat.
That was perfect.
Good job, Bill. Adding a new super chat shout out for you boys out there and girls. Giving us the love on the super chat. And Josh, giving us a lot of love on super chat. Hey, I love listening to your show because you're the best. Can I get a birthday shout out? Well, happy birthday, Josh. I won't sing the song because you can get sued for that. But I will tell you, happy birthday, my man. Have a great day. I hope you have a perfect day. I hope your birthday is an absolutely perfect one. Speaking of that, I'm going to finish it in the next day or two, but I'm part of a new thing, and it's called On Deck, and it's Now On Deck. It's called, and it's sports personalities around the country, and you sign on to it. It's called nowondeck.com, and we will make personalized birthdays and answering machine stuff. I don't even know if you have an answering machine still or whatever. Personal messages, things like that. So that's going to be out in the next day or two, and I'll give you a heads up on it. But it's a pretty cool thing that I've joined, and we'll get to it. But Josh, happy birthday, my brother. Hope you have a fantastic birthday, and I appreciate you on your birthday giving us a present, and that shows that you are a really good dude, man.
Happy birthday, Josh.
There you go. Double birthday wishes there. David says Belichick will earn his stripes if he can win with Stidham and Grant Goose at QB in the same did Shula won with Woodstock. That would be nice. That's very, very nice comparison. Yeo Wendy Torren says, Big O, que voila. How is everything in MIA? Everything is all right here in Colorado as always. Doobie in my hand while listening to the realist in the biz. Big O, who would you have started at QB in the preseason? Fitz. I got to start Fitz all the way, man. Because Fitz is the guy that's going to show these guys what. I'm not in a hurry. Remember that, guys. I love this process of rebuilding the team. And so I want Tua to succeed. That's why I told you yesterday that the most important factor for Tua is growth around him so you can help him be the best he can be. I want to throw him out there right from the get-go when the line isn't gelled, everybody doesn't know the offense, everybody's not running the crisp routes, everybody's not on time. You can't do that. You need Fitz because Fitz can overcome some deficiencies. Fitz can overcome breakdowns. Fitz will be able to ad-lib. These young guys, they're so busy trying to learn the damn playbook that when things break down, they forget about ad-libbing. And then they get caught up. And then here, as you all know, in this league, that door shuts down on you quickly, and you got to react. So that's why you gotta give this thing some time. You start Fitz, and you let the guys learn the new offense with Fitz. Let them watch him prepare and play, and then you can bring them along. And then you can get those guys in there eventually.
Our situation with the offensive line, the fact that Fitz could tell the offensive lineman, blitz this, watch their set it up, man. It's going to help the offensive lineman.
Yeah. Miguel Garcia says, how much for the happy birthday song? All I know is I can't afford it. That's all I know, dude. And I don't know if you know this. You can't sing the happy birthday song, and you can't do the Michael Buffer line of Rumble stuff. You can't do that. That's good. You cannot do that. Buffer can go after you. He's got that trademarked. So you got to be careful. It's like
you could do a new one for the Patriots. Let's get ready to be humble.
Yeah, there you go. I like it. I like it. Get ready to be humbled. Yes. 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 There you go. Anyway, so that's why I would tell you that. Yeah, no, it's all right. All right, we got less money coming in because of the pandemic. A lot less money. We got to be smart with
a little bit we need to keep in our pocket.
Yes.
Because as soon as it gets in our pocket, shortly thereafter it goes to bills.
Yes. So yeah, last thing I need is a lawsuit on our hands because of that.
Yeah, the 2 dimes we have left, we need to rub those together.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. You can reach out also on our chat board here, on our YouTube chat board, and the super chat, like my man Josh just did, which we appreciate. The other thing that I definitely want to get into a little bit is, all right, so we got this story, Barry Jackson and Armando Salguero wrote in the Miami Herald, and talking about why they fired O'Shea, and the talk in the article on firing him was that he made it a complicated offense. But it's 12. Let's do this. Let me take a quick break here, okay? Let's get the break in first, and then I'll come back.
What?
And we'll talk about.
You are within the half-hour increment.
I'm trying.
Twice.
I'm trying.
In a row, like
I'm
within
trying.
the same twice.
I'm trying.
Don't
get spoiled. I'm trying.
Okay. I'm
trying.
I'm about to fall out.
This Dental is a proud sponsor of our program. And let me tell you something. If you're in pain right now, you need some dental work, please call them. 305-821-0231. If you're looking to get those teeth clean because you've been dirtying them up during this, time that you've been inside the house and just stuffing your face like I am, call Mudias Dental. You need an implant. You need Invisaligns. 305-821-0231. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Mudias Dental. Go to the website. Make sure you tell them that Big O sent you, MudiasDental.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, $22,030. 75. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opa-locka, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest, best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All right. Somebody sent me in a text that says Warner settled a Happy Birthday song lawsuit for $14 million in 2006. Yikes. What do you think about that, Bill? Do you think we'll ever get this podcast off the ground if we get sued for $14 million?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I just know the rules that you're not supposed to sing Happy Birthday and you can't do the Michael Buffer line on air.
So what happens if you have a celebration and you're singing Happy Birthday?
On air.
Okay.
Not in your house with your family.
No, but
and
if you
friends.
send it to like your grandmother, hey, we did birthday for cousin Bill.
You're not on air.
Okay. All right.
You're not. It's
for broadcasting.
It's broadcast.
Gotcha.
Anything that could be profited.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Not you guys like to get
personal
together.
Usage.
You send an IG and that goes out in public or your Facebook. I know what you're saying. You're cool on that, but I don't think they can sue you at all for that. You know what I mean? But now if you put it in a commercial, if you're on a television show, if you're on a podcast, if you're on radio and you do the Happy Birthday song, you put yourself at risk. Yeah. Exactly.
So you can't get like Bill Murray doing the Lounge Lizard singing Happy Birthday back in the day on SNL.
But does he change up the words completely?
No, he just inflection,
No, you can't.
like the Lounge Lizard.
It's not what you just did.
Right.
Get ready to be humbled.
Yeah.
You can't get sued for that.
Right.
Okay, because you changed
but
it.
you stay within the parameters of the verbiage.
You changed it.
You're
Right.
stuck.
But if you start going, let's get ready to, and you use it as your promos, or you are done, dude. That Buffer's lawyer will be calling you shortly.
And hopefully you have a lawyer.
Yeah. You better have a really good one, bro.
$14 million for misusage of the birthday song. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Ray Gurulong chiming in on the super chat, and he got me a sticker too with the birdie celebrating. I like it. I like it.
Wow. Recent research has shown
super chat
makes no sense.
Yeah, you're getting focused on all the wrong sort of details here. You need to forget about all the normal rules that apply in society.
Wasted no time. Super chat. I thought it was really, 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 really cool.
You should all be very proud of yourself.
I have no response.
Super chat.
That was perfect.
That's the way you do it. Thank you, Ray. Appreciate you, man. It looks like you're an everyday chimer too, man. Thank you, sir, so much. Big O, what does it take to be in the sports broadcasting world? I've been thinking about it for years, but I'm technically deficient. Aside from what do you recommend as far as steps to take? Don't do it. That's all. Don't do it. Don't get in this business. It's a terrible business. People are, it's especially on the radio side, the terrestrial side. You run into too many people that are terrible. They don't know what the hell they're doing. It's a really bad business, man. A lot of good people get burned in this business. It's full of politics. Stay away from this business. Okay? Maybe the only one I might tell you to try to go in if you can is maybe TV. That's about it. But print is dying. I mean, it's close to dead. Magazines are, they're all right, but it's nothing amazing. And terrestrial radio is, since it's become such a corporate thing, it's disgusting at this point. So they want to run it, and the talk radio is becoming a lot like what they've been doing on FM for years, that they cookie cutter everything, and they have, one DJ for 100 stations. And it's the same voice in so many different markets. And it's great for the specific DJs to get that break, but for the listener, it's terrible because it's not personable. They're not in your city. They're not going through the same things you are. I can get it. I can get off here and start talking about my experience on 995 or the Palmetto or 595 or the Turnpike, and a bunch of you can relate. You can relate to any of the storm showers we've had here the last couple of days and flooding or whatever, and because I'm living the same thing you are. You know what I mean? And so that the localness of radio is gone. And it's just a really, really bad business. I'm just telling you. Take it from a person that's been at it for 30 years. It has gotten worse and worse and worse and worse. Specifically the last 10 to 12 years, maybe 15. That's when it really started to take a turn for its worse. Somewhere in the early 2000s, it's kind of where it started getting shady, and so it is what it is. What are you going to do, man? I miss the 90s. That's all I can tell you. Man, do I miss 90s radio. And what's the funny part is that I was making less money in those days, so that, but the job itself was so entertaining. It was fun to be a part of. Hard work, as always. That you always have to be ready for. But a lot of fun. Like, you don't feel like you're working. Now, they make it more like work, unfortunately. And it's not supposed to be, because you don't want it to come through like that on the air. So when you put the weight of the world on your host from everything and all the other crap that goes on, and then they've got to go on and do a radio show, or she's got to do a radio show, but she's got to handle all the adversity that's going on behind the scenes with the program director, the sales staff, your sponsors, everything else that goes. It's just a pain in the ass. You no longer have educated producers. You no longer have hosts that actually have paid their dues. You have sales staffs that aren't really connected to radio stations anymore. They're just connected to their commissions. They don't really care about what they're doing or the people or the sponsors they're serving. They just care about the commission. And then the people above them just look at everybody else's numbers. And they don't look at everything else that goes into it, you know? So it's sad, man. It's a sad business. I'm telling you. I'm just being brutally honest. Don't get into it. It's just a really, really stressful business. Let's see. What else do we have? So is 40 million a super chat happy birthday? Yeah, that would be 40 million would be a really super chat happy birthday. We could do some amazing shows with 40 million. We would cover everything in sight. It would be the greatest sports show of all time. Yeah, 40 million would do it, bro. I don't know if Super Chat allows you to donate 40 million. I don't know what the max is. Wait a minute. I think I do know the max. And I want to say Steven hit the max. De Filipis hit the max. I think it was 500. I think that's the max. I don't think Super Chat lets you go to. So you're $39,999,500 short. Okay? So, you know what you can do? You can come on by and drop off a cashier's check for $40 million here to us. That'll do. Okay? That's not a problem. All right, you got a problem with that, Bill? If they drop off a $40 million check?
No. We will pack up shop. We'll open up our phone and do the show from the YouTube right off the phone.
Right off the phone, yeah.
While we're driving to the bank.
And we're going to go to Vegas, and we'll go everywhere we'll cover every game this season.
Wait a minute.
Home and away. Okay.
I just came here. If you're bringing that cashier's check with that $40 million, we need to make a phone call to Brinks so that we could get in the truck.
Yeah.
You know, do it smart.
All right. Oh, Yeo Wendy Torrens chiming in on the super chat. Not 40 million. Big O, thank you for the tips for sports broadcasting. It seems as if TV is the best way. Yes, it is. I know I asked already, but should I go to school to get my best shot to be on TV or maybe a YouTube channel? Well, I think you should do some schooling. Yes. Because you kind of need to learn about the business. If you know nothing about the business, it makes it that much harder for you to get a job. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I would tell you that you do both. You go to school, and then you start on a YouTube channel, and you start your own. That way, what you're learning, you're implementing, you're practicing, and you're trying to get better at your craft. That's one of the things that you must do. If you're a producer, if you're a host, if you're whatever, cameraman, I don't care what, you need to practice on your own time. Okay? Not just when you're working, on your own time, you need to practice your craft. So if you're on TV, then you need to practice your stand-ups. If you're a writer, you need to practice your scripts. If you're a producer, you need to practice editing, mixing, preparing, all of those things. And everybody's got to do that. If you don't put any work into your job away from work, you will never get better. It's going to be really, really hard. So yes, I would do both. Get an education and then use that education building your own YouTube channel and then still go find a job, you know? And eventually if you find a job, they will probably make you stop the YouTube channel, right? Because that's usually what they want to do. But if you haven't built anything yet on the YouTube, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? But at least it's a great platform for you to practice. So yes, that's what you should do. Okay? All right, 786-322-1105. NorCal says it takes 10,000 hours of dedication and education and work to be a journeyman in almost any career. Get education, volunteer in your field of choice, go get it. I couldn't have put it better. Couldn't have put it better. And the part of volunteering, in our business, if you're not willing to use your personal time to get better, you will not get better. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. You know? But I mean, that's people learn their lesson. Some of them have to learn it the hard way. That's all. Anyway, we got a bunch of things to talk about here on the program. We got into a little bit of football stuff. We got into a couple of things. I wanted to talk about the story of Armando Salguero and Barry Jackson in the Herald that they fired O'Shea. Now, the word is that they fired O'Shea because he wasn't a great teacher, and the offense that he was teaching was too complicated. And what the guys wrote about, this was an offense, and he was using stuff that Brady was comfortable with in a system that he's been in, 15, 20 years. And so for Brady, it's a lot easier to make a transition. And last year, it was harder for a lot of the players because apparently it wasn't just one player, but several players complained that O'Shea was not teaching it properly, so it wasn't translating on the field, which, by the way, that's going to hurt your receivers, maybe Josh Rosen, maybe your offensive lineman. It's going to hurt everybody here, your tight end, everybody. And I told you guys this when they fired O'Shea, and you can go back to the podcast. The beauty is everything I tell you, it's all documented. It's on the podcast. You can go back, and what I'm telling you is there. And I told you then what I'll tell you now. Ryan Fitzpatrick bailed that guy out a whole bunch of times last year. Like he bailed the team out and the offense because there were things that he did that were not scripted at all. It was things that Fitz had to do because stuff broke down. And so he had to find another receiver that wasn't part of the pattern. He had to run the ball. Whatever he had to do, he did, and he sold out completely. And that's one of the reasons why I think we've all, grown to like this guy. We know what he is. I haven't heard a Dolphin say, hey, Fitz is really a Pro Bowler. Everybody loves Fitz because he sold out for you. I know he was selling out for his team, but you as the fan feel like that guy sold out for our team last year, man. That guy did anything and everything we needed to win any kind of a game. And how do you not respect that? But O'Shea, I think was that, and this is what you learn, right? And this is what Flores has to learn as a head coach. And he did a lot of really good things last year, right? But this was one where he probably felt he made the wrong decision. But you don't know how somebody's going to be in a new role until they're in that new role. And so as a position coach, he did a good job. But then when he had to address an entire unit, and then each responsibility is different because you're no longer just coaching the receivers. The offensive line, you got to coach everybody up to be on the same page. And maybe you're not suited for that yet. Maybe you're not ready for that. And apparently, Coach Flores felt he wasn't prepared for that. And he made the change. The part I don't understand with some people out there is how they get married to O'Shea right away after one season. And the guy that brought him in and the guy that's coached up the team, and then people are wondering, well, what the hell is Flores doing bringing in Changeli, this older guy? And again, I think these are lazy takes that fans take from lazy writers. Because if you sit back and analyze really what's going on, Changeli has 5,000 more years of experience than O'Shea does as an offensive coordinator. Changeli has coached up all kinds of offenses in the NFL. Not one offense that he coached everywhere. No. He coached everywhere. And good job by Barry and Armando that in the article they pointed out he hasn't coached a lot of great quarterbacks. And one of the few good ones that he coached was Troy Aikman, and Troy Aikman was part of what? A running offense. So of course he wasn't going to put up incredible numbers because that's not what that offense was about on the passing side. They were more about running the ball. It's just, you have to look at things for what they are. And you get a better teacher, a much more experienced teacher, a guy that already knows your starter right away, So now he and the starter can work on teaching the young guys. Because the starter wants to teach the young guys. He wants to show them everything. He wants them to ask questions. He knows what he's there for. He's going to play his ass off because he's a pro. Because that's what pros are supposed to do. You're supposed to try your best. He's not supposed to come in and say, well, I'm just a bridge guy. I'll fill in the spot until the kid wants it. No, you're supposed to say, I'm coming here to help that young man get better, but I'm going to play my ass off. He's going to have to. Remember how when if you don't have a brother, I don't have a big brother. But you always hear the stories of how the big brother's hard on the little brother, just like maybe father and son. And why is the father being tough on the son, and why is the big brother being tough on the little brother? Because he wants to toughen them up. And he doesn't want to give them games. When I play with my daughter games, I don't let her win. Whatever it is, dude, we're playing air hockey or we're playing pinball, or I try to beat her every single time. When she's 5 or 6, yeah, you let them win. But when they get up to a certain age, you don't let them win anymore. You make them beat you. Because then when they do beat you, they feel great about it. Eventually, the kids know when you're letting them win. And that you get nowhere like that. So Fitz is coming in and say, hey, I'm going to ball. I'm going to play my game. But I'm here to teach these guys. I'm here to bring them along. He knows exactly what he has to do. It's beautiful synergy. It's a great job by Grier and Flores to understand what's going on and correct the issue. That's their job as coaches. Okay, let's figure out this Gesicki guy. All right, Ryan, let's help me out here. Ryan helps you out in developing him. All right, hey, Devontae, what's going on in the hey, let's reconstruct that confidence. Let's get that play up. Fitz, the coaching staff, they reconstruct Devontae Parker. Hey, Eric Rowe, we got to figure out, you're not very good at covering corners. Let's put you at tight end. Let's try, you excel at tight ends. Here's a new contract. That's what coaching and front office work is all about. What are the issues? How do we address them? How do we put players in better positions to win? What coaches do we need to get rid of? Because we need to get better here. If we have a better teacher here and a better communicator, we will get more out of our players. And let me tell you something. Just in case you want to go to this lazy thing about, maybe O'Shea was teaching a bunch of dumb players. No, that's not the case. You know why I tell you that? Did you see the defense? They tried all kinds of funky stuff last year. They weren't base all the time or anything like that. They changed up the coverages, the looks. They were doing all kinds of stuff. My favorite one is still the one where they're all standing around hanging out like talking to each other. Hey, what's up, snap? Boom, we're all gone. And everybody scrambles and they go to where they're supposed to go. So there were times where it was kind of complicated on defense, and they made their mistakes, and they were also successful. That's what young teams do. But they were learning. So what that tells me is that they had better teachers on the defensive side of the ball than the offensive side of the ball. And that's what now Flores and Grier did. Okay, let's get us a better teacher on offense. Okay, I covered Changeli when he was here. I thought Changeli did a really good job overall. Considering the talent he had, I thought he did a really good job overall. I think Changeli's a really good coach. I really do. Sometimes there are coaches that they have proven, I tell you this all the time. It comes up all the time. Why do you think everybody keeps hiring Changeli? Why do you think they kept keeping around Chris Grier? Why do you think Wade Phillips gets hired all the time as a defensive coordinator for freaking 40 years? You know what I mean? There's a reason why they keep getting jobs, because they know what the hell they're doing. And I think Chan has not been in a position with a great offense where he can actually get that season that he would really like, or 2 or 3 as an offensive coordinator. And I don't know if it's going to happen here. But I'm just saying, I think he's a good coach. He just hasn't had that stage that he needs in order to really shine. That's all. But I think he's done a really good job in a lot of places because he's been in a lot of, not easy situations. So to me, the O'Shea story, I thought those two guys did a nice job of talking about it and reporting the backside of it. But I'm not surprised. I'm definitely not surprised. And I'm happy and I've been happy from the get-go. I told you that Chan Gailey's here. RVA Richmond has a question. He says, what's more important, superstar athletes or coaches' systems? Oh, that's an interesting one. I think you got to have a little bit of both. I think you're going to need some stars to win, but I think you have to have a system that fits whatever talent you have. Because I'll give you an example. You can have Zonka and Greasy, but you can't run Marino's offense. Comprende, compadre? Because Greasy's not Marino, right? And so you can then switch it up, and then you have to have Woodstock, and you have to adjust. And then you get Marino, and you have to adjust. So what I'm trying to tell you is, yeah, you need star players, and it's great to have Marino, and it's great to have Greasy, and it's great to have Zonka, and it's great to have Duper and Clayton and Warfield, and you name it, whatever, from any of the different eras and defensive players and all that. But you got to have the guy that understands what that player can and cannot do. And Shula knew that with Greasy and company, he had to run this kind of an offense with that defense. And then with Woodstock, he knew he had to kind of balance it out between two guys that weren't complete, but you kind of used them to complement each other to kind of make it complete. And then you had the Dan Marino thing. That was a completely different type of offense. But without Shula, you don't have success that way. Without Joe Gibbs, you can't win 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks. Because that coach has to understand the different teams, what their strengths and weaknesses are. So the system is very important. Because you can have the players and not have the system, and you fail. You can have a system. Sometimes you can actually succeed without a ton of superstars. I don't know about winning a title, but, you're going to need some stars to win a title. But you can still be successful to a certain extent with a system. But you're still going to need the players. It's a great example is Bill's team. The Bears in the Ditka days, when they lost McMahon, they still, because of the system, the defense, the running game, they still were really productive every year, but they weren't going to ever make a Super Bowl again and win one. Why? Because they didn't have the superstar quarterback. They didn't have that guy. But the system that was in place, remember I told you about Pat Riley. Pat Riley created the culture with the Knicks, right? And then he left. But the culture stayed in place for Van Gundy because that was his assistant coach. So Van Gundy kept that culture around as long as he could until it ran out of gas because those players ran out of gas and the team ran out of gas and it was over. So it was kind of, the system was kind of in place, that culture, and they kept it going for as long as they could. So it's kind of a 2-part thing, I would tell you, RVA in Richmond, Virginia. I hope that is clear enough. And I wasn't trying to fence straddle. I don't think you can do it with just one. I think you need a little bit of both in order to get it done. 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, that's 786-322-1105. Don't forget VSS West Pines. We love talking about Jose and all the great people out there at VSS West Pines, man. We were there yesterday, 12397 Pembroke Road, man. Go on out there, check it out. They got hookahs, all price ranges from $19.99 and up. CBD, flower, tinctures, edibles, women's face masks, CBD topicals, Salve for pain, transdermal patches, also for inflammation and pain. If you're dealing with stress, which right now there's plenty of stress going on, anxiety, pain, let's get you out of that discomfort, man. Please reach out to my guys, 954-613-3367. You can actually have curbside pickup too, so you can call them, order your product, go to the website, vsswestpines.com. Call them if you have any questions. Jason, Alex, Tommy, any of the Jose's, they will answer all of your questions at 12397 Pembroke Road, VSS West Pines. Wow.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O. Big O Show. Big O Show. Big O Show. Big O Show.
Welcome back. Drubo says, okay, I'm late, but what? At least I hit like the let's go, roll, fins up, fins rising. There you go, Drubo. You're never late, my brother. You are always welcome. Thank you for always keeping it locked here on the program, and all of you out there and spreading the word, sharing the link, subscribing, liking, all that stuff is really, really, really important. And of course, when you come out here to Toyota of Hollywood, make sure you mention our name. All those things are really, really important, so we can grow and keep this baby going in the right direction, which has been absolutely phenomenal. The direction that we're headed in with the program. So thank you so much out there to a lot of people. And the good news is, we got the NBA talking about an Orlando return, right, around Disney World. Although what I saw from all of this, I know the NFL also is planning on returning. The only thing that I would tell you that is kind of odd for me, and on the NBA teams returning, they're talking about kind of doing their camps and then going to the bubble. And my problem with all of that is if players are at camp and then they're breaking and they're having, you're not going to be able to control all these players. And from what I'm told now, it's not like they got to live in the bubble only. They're going to be able to leave. And that's the only thing that I fear out of all of this. Part of all of us kind of keeping this thing at bay and minimizing it as much as we can is by being responsible and kind of staying away from each other. I know it sucks, right? But that's really what it is. You just hang out with your loved ones and don't really socialize with people out on the street all the time. And it sucks, but that's kind of where we're at right now. And these guys are so young. They've got money. There's stuff out there already that, it's been going on for the last couple months. Guys are having parties. They're inviting women over that they meet on IG and things like that. This is going on. It's been going on. And so these are the things that you've got a lot of young guys with money. And again, they're young. Think about it when you were young. And then throw in if you were blessed enough to have, thousands in your pocket or your credit card or whatever, and you can go out and party. I don't know how they keep everything, status quo. It's going to be a real challenge. I was just talking with Herbie Lopez right now here at Toyota of Hollywood. He's a huge UFC guy. He loves the UFC. He eats, lives, and breathes UFC. And we're talking about how, they've gone pretty smooth. They had the one case, but they have very few people that they have to manage compared to a basketball, compared to hockey, then compared to football, baseball. It's a lot of people you got to manage. And then you got all the coaches and the trainers and the broadcasters and everything. It's crazy. See, UFC, it's the same broadcasters. That's it. It's two guys and that's it. And, they're broadcasting to the world. Maybe they'll have a couple of other guys for some other languages. They can put those guys on a monitor. But what are you going to do when you've got the national feed, the local TV, the local radio, all of these kind of things? Are they even going to allow a sideline reporter? I wonder, because the sideline reporter can't interview anybody. I would think that the elimination of the sideline reporter this year is done. I'm just saying. I think. I don't know. That would be my guess if that's the case. But this whole thing, listen, I'm just like you guys. I want sports back. I want our lives back. I want concerts back. Okay? Not only do I want sports, I really want also music back badly. And even that, I'm not even worried about a concert in 2020. I'm not even thinking of. I think I'm going to end up in Vegas for that Dolphins-Raiders game. And I think Bill and I are going to enjoy Vegas without any concerts. I don't think there's going to be a show. Not at that point. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't get to see a concert when I go to Vegas. Seriously. It's very realistic. Because people are going to want to avoid lawsuits. That's the problem. You start opening yourself up to that, then you open yourself up to lawsuits. And they're going to want to avoid that. And these bands and these promoters, they want to avoid that too. If they can be held liable in any which way possible, they're going to want to avoid that. But to me, that's going to be the challenge, is how do they keep everybody safe in this process? That's the part I don't understand. Orlando says, please remind everybody that this year's draft and free agency was to make us better, but it's next year's draft that will become great. Yeah, I would think so. I would think that after the third draft, we're going to feel pretty damn good about this team. Yes. William says, Fontisiela says, it's so refreshing. It just seems like something different is happening with the Dolphins. We might be close to getting back to what we once was, one of the most respected franchises. Oh, yeah, they're going to get back to that. Going to take a couple more years, but I think respect is already growing. I think a lot of people at first didn't understand what they were doing, didn't get it. They overreacted in every way possible. And then they saw the terrible start, and then they just hammered it away. But then as it got better, more and more people shut the hell up, and they kind of kept to themselves and stopped talking about it. And it got to a point by the end of the season that I think people were like, hey, those guys over there in Miami might actually know what the hell they're doing. We're the ones that don't know what the hell we're talking about. We were killing these guys at the beginning because we were overreacting on what was going on at the beginning. But we didn't actually let it develop. And after you watch it develop, considering what they had, they did a pretty damn good job. So, yeah, I just think it's one of those things that the respect will come with the success. And as you continue to improve, and I think they'll take another step this year, but year 3 will be the one that I really expect them to jump in, and then that's when people start to really get on the bandwagon for the Miami Dolphins. Because, next year will be the Tua year. That's where you expect Tua to take the field and hopefully be the guy. And then your future looks extremely bright because everybody's loaded and you got your young quarterback. Manny Machine says, social distancing tip of the day, do not grab another person's face mask. It's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. You are correct. Super Boom Shack says, favorite Depeche Mode album. Wow, Music for the Masses. Yeah. Music for the Masses. That has, what is it, Driving, Little 15.
Strange Love. Little 15.
Is Personal? No, Personal Jesus, not that
No,
one.
Personal Jesus is next one.
Yeah. Personal Jesus.
Violator,
exactly. I saw that tour, and the opened up at, was that at the Miami Arena, or was
we were
that
at the Miami
AAA?
Arena? Miami Arena. Sixth row, I think.
Depeche
Was
Mode and the. Oh,
and
that was so good.
The had
Yeah, for
Johnny.
those of you that aren't this is Depeche Mode today.
The had Johnny Mars from the Smiths playing guitar for them.
Yes. Yeah, let me see. Music for the Masses, I think, would be my favorite. Let me go through the track list here. Never Let Me Down Again, which is, oh, my God. The Things You Said, Strange Love, Sacred, Little 15, Behind the Wheel. That's the one I was thinking of. Love that song. I Want You Now.
Nothing is on that album.
Yes,
too.
To Have and To Hold, Nothing, Pimp. It's such an awesome album. Yes, Music for the Masses. That would be my. But now, Violator is an awesome album. Anybody that tells you Violator, World in My Eyes, Swedish Perfection, Personal Jesus, Waiting for the Night, Enjoy the Silence, Policy of Truth. I mean, give me a break. It's an awesome album. Let me see. Black Celebration is a fantastic album. It has Fly on a Windscreen, Black Celebration, Question of Lust, Stripped, Dressed in Black, New Dress. Let me see what other ones that I really like a lot. Let's see. Well, Songs of Faith and Devotion is also pretty damn good too, man. I Feel You is an awesome song. Walking in My Shoes. Judas, In Your Room. Yeah, man, that's also a great album. It's Depeche Mode, man. There's so much. So much. You see? Oh, man. You look at Construction Time again. It has Love in Itself. Everything Counts. Everything Counts is probably one of their all-time classics, dude. What's it called? Pipeline is in there. It's actually, I mean, Depeche Mode, man. What can I tell you? But Music for the Masses for me would probably be my favorite album if I had to, you have to force me to pick one. Let's see. Big O, in your humble opinion, what is the greatest musical decade? I think it's the 70s. For me, I think the 60s, 70s, and 80s are the greatest musical eras, period. Okay? 90s comes right after. Forget about the 2000s and 2000s and whatever, the 10s. Those decades don't even come close. The 90s was pretty solid. But for me, the problem is that the 60s with the rock and the psychedelic, it was a new era at that time, right? And then 70s, you had the growth of heavy metal, the growth of electronic music, the growth of disco, the growth of punk, right? And then in the 80s, you had your new wave alternative coming in, right? You had freestyle that was kind of added on the back end of disco, right? And so you had hair metal, you had speed metal come in because obviously the Panteras and the Metallicas of the world and things like that grew from that. So there was a lot of innovation going on in each of those decades. And I can make an argument that the 60s, because of the influences coming from the Hendrix and the Beatles and everything else, I could easily make the argument that the 60s is the greatest decade ever. I can make an argument because of the turn that happened in the 70s, like I told you, from disco to punk to electronic music to classic rock and heavy metal, actually, because heavy metal kind of reared its ugly head, beautiful in my way, but reared its head like right at the end of the 60s with Sabbath, right? And then it really took off in the 70s. And then the 80s, again, more changes, so many influences in music, also from the 80s. I can make an argument for all three. So I got to kind of fence straddle and say all three were just as important. But if you put gun to head, I'm going to go 60s. Okay? Only because the pioneering that was going on in the 60s was sick. And it's the most important guys out there when we talk about Hendrix and we talk about the Beatles. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, Led Zeppelin came out right at the end. Stones, yeah, all that.
The Kinks.
Hell, didn't the Stones come out maybe in late 50s? No, right? Or maybe early 60s. But Beach Boys, Beach music also started in the 60s. So surf music, whatever, whatever
Stevie
it was called.
Wonder.
Stevie Wonder. I mean, it just
Motown. Just say Motown.
Well, but Motown
60s.
Actually started a little before that too. I could go 50s.
50s, yes.
But again, it's just 60s. I could go with the 60s, man. You know what I mean? But if somebody told me 70s and even 80s, we're kind of splitting hairs because there was so much growth in music in those 3 decades that I could understand anybody leaning there. But gun to head, I'll go 60s.
As far as influencing it, almost
just
touches
the great.
every,
He says
touches.
the greatest decade. That's how he says it. So you can view it however you want to view it, because it's kind of open for interpretation. So it is subjective. That's why I say if anybody wants to say 70s or 80s, that's fine. You tell me 50s or 90s or anything else, we're having a fight. Okay? No, seriously. We're having an argument, and I'm going to crush you in that argument. I can't wait for anybody to tell me 50s or 2000s or whatever, or 90s. I love the 90s. I thought the 90s were actually really good, but the 90s they're not at the 60s, 70s, and 80s level. If you're young and that was your era, then you'll have a different feeling about it. But as a guy that's kind of lived through all these eras except for the 60s, but I was born in the 60s, but I didn't really live that era. I know it enough to know what the hell it meant to us. And so I would go 60s. Okay? There you go. Ultra's a good album, Super Boom Shack says. Let's see. Let's see. The Tube is not free speech. It's awesome for Rogan. Seems like a real dude and humble. Oh, you talk about the Joe Rogan deal? Yeah, he's a stud, man. He's a stud. Respect Ross for accepting that they had to tear it down. Greer had the balls to do it, and Flores, our record will suck my first year, but I can coach it up. New blueprint for the NFL if this works. Yeah. In many ways. One, they will influence the NFL in tearing it down for some people saying, okay, we keep putting Band-Aids on this problem. We keep having the same problem. We need to tear it down and then rebuild it. Now, it is key that you have the right people to rebuild it up, okay? And I think Grier and company are the right people, but they've got to prove that too over time. The second part of all of this is the minority part of it. That not only did they do a rebuild, they did it with minorities. Okay? That is huge. That's freaking catastrophic. Okay? That is shocking news to the white NFL. Okay? That's where this team is at. That if they have success, their impact is going to be felt not just in the win column, it's in the influence column all along the NFL. And think about that since Shula, the Dolphins haven't influenced anything in anyone whatsoever. And Stephen Ross may be the guy that influences others to take more, to give more opportunities to minorities. And Brian Flores and especially Chris Grier might be the ones that influence some NFL teams to go to the extreme of saying, you know what? We need to tear it all the way down and rebuild this thing back up again the right way. So it's big, man. It's huge what's going on here in Miami. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. I want to talk a little bit about the Scottie Pippen story, just to change gears a little bit. We're music, football now. We go to to basketball, and I read this story where Scottie Pippen is beyond livid with Michael Jordan over his Last Dance portrayal. And I got to tell you something. This is another reason why Scottie Pippen doesn't get it. Really, I'm sorry, but he doesn't get it. Look, nobody told Scottie Pippen not to participate in the last play of that game in the playoff series when they called for Kukoc's number and he got pissed like a little bitch and said, I'm not going in. When a real pro who has an understanding and can look in the mirror and say, that's a great call by the coach, man. I'll do my best to help set up Tony. He's better suited for that play than I am. And Phil Jackson's call was the coach's call. We just went through this before. They looked at Eric Rowe and said, you can't cover corner, you can't cover receivers, but you can cover tight ends. We'll keep you in that role. That's a coach's job. What can you do? What can't you do? All right, let me figure it out. Let me put you in a position to succeed, not to fail. That's what they did. They succeeded, and he acted like a little bitch there. Okay? He whined about his money. Moron, you signed the 7-year contract. Nobody else. And then, the migraine thing happened in that second go-around. Let me explain something to you about the migraine. Migraines are brutal. I've had migraines. You want to be locked up in a dark room. You don't want anybody talking to you. You don't want to deal. You don't want to hear noise. You don't want to see a flicker of light. You don't want to see a firefly in a dark room when you've got a migraine. I know what it's like. Okay? But let me explain something to you. When you back out of a play and you also have a migraine in another play, people are automatically going to say, you wussed out. That's the burden he has to carry. Okay? You wanted your money? Dude, sign a 4-year deal, 5-year deal. So that way when it's up, you have a new deal. If you go to 7, what business isn't going to milk you, bro? Radio, acting, record companies. How many times have you heard the story of the record company that the band hits it big on their first or second album, but the record company's got 5 more albums on you at the same price? And you got to play out that record contract, or you got to fight them in court for years.
What is it, TLC? I think one of the worst, right?
All of it, dude.
Yeah, there's.
It's
but I'm
endless.
saying that
the Eagles,
everybody's been used and abused.
Every business. You signed that contract. You made your commitment, bro. Scotty, you're a dumbass. Don't blame Phil Jackson. Don't blame Michael Jordan. Don't blame Jerry Reinsdorf. Don't blame Krause. Okay? Don't blame any of those guys. That's your fault, dude. You chose not to go into that play. That's part of the history. That younger people are finding out about it. Hey, man, that's your problem. You got portrayed the right way. You punked out of that play. And then in the interview, you said you'd do it all over again.
Doubled down.
Your ignorance is amazing, bro. You would figure after 20 years, you would sit down and say, yeah, no, I screwed up there. I failed my team. Bill Cartwright was crying after the game, addressing you, Scotty, how much you failed them. Brother, you were portrayed like what you are. And you know what tops it all with Scottie Pippen that pisses me off about everything else? He is never, ever, ever going to be Scottie Pippen without Michael Jordan. If he ends up getting drafted in any other team, he reaches half of what he was. Doesn't reach the Hall of Fame, maybe never even wins a title, and doesn't become one of the 50 greatest players of all time. The fact he was with Michael is what elevated him to that point. So he should be grateful that he was on that team, grateful that he's a 6-time champion, grateful that he's a top 50 player, and he should be also honest with himself and should have sat in that thing and said, yeah, I was a dumbass. I signed a 7-year contract. I can't blame anybody else but myself. Yeah, I was a dumbass. I chose not to go into that play, and Bill Cartwright was right. I failed him. We would respect that honesty. Yeah, if I had to do it all over, I would not do that again. Because it's not their fault, it's mine. Scottie Pippen has a problem. He can't look in the mirror and actually say the truth. That's why Larsa Pippen is flying around in his plane, having Future come over to her, and she's cheating on Scotty with Future. Scotty, my brother, you are a disaster. You're a hell of a player, but you still don't get it, man. And you're on the jump because of those 6 titles. Not because you have this incredible personality, by the way. You know what I mean? So don't blame anybody but yourself for how you were portrayed, because you were portrayed like what you are. A great player that had a lot of faults. Okay? Clearly had, and you screwed up and you screwed yourself. You sign a 7-year contract with anybody, and I can tell you in 99.9% of the businesses in this country, they're going to milk every day of that contract, and they're not going to give you a new one. Very few people are going to say, oh, you're so good, man. Let me tear up this contract after years 3 and 4 here, and let me pay you 8 times more so I can get less of a team. No, man. That's your fault, dude. Your fault. So every time I see this, I have to laugh at Scottie Pippen. Seriously. I have to laugh that he is pissed off about how he's portrayed. You're portrayed the way you should be portrayed.
I was going to say, he wants to go yell at somebody. Just go find a mirror, bro.
Oh, yell at your damn self.
That's it, man. Go find a mirror.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
because you brought all this on yourself, man. Yeah. That's it. It's you.
He's beyond livid on how he's been portrayed. He portrayed you like what you are, bro.
And you know what? Just the way he doubled down on I would do the same thing again.
Right.
And now the way he's acting with this.
Yep.
He's doubling down again. It's like, you don't get it, do you, at all?
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. That's why he does that. All right, so it's 1 o'clock. We've gone through 2 hours of the program, and we're on time once again.
Yeah, I'm going to say, bro, who are you?
We're on time today.
Who are you, man?
We're on time today. All
Are
right,
you an imposter?
Let's take a quick break. We're out here at Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. Come on out here, man. If you're looking to buy or lease a vehicle, you can even call them and you can buy it by the phone, and they'll deliver it to you also. You know what I mean? Personally, I like to be at the dealership because I was going to buy the red Camry XSE, okay, with the panoramic roof and everything. I love that car. That car is awesome. If I would have bought it online and I see my color online, I would have still bought the red one. But my color, you have to see it in person because it has blue, black, and it's like an aqua, right? I would say.
Aqua, green.
Yeah,
man,
it's like an aqua green, black, and blue. And it depends on the light, and it's such a cool paint job. Yeah,
the light is hitting every man.
Yeah,
water on it. I mean,
right. It's like, and I fell in love with. I love the car already, but that color, okay, forget it. Knocked it out.
It's
of the
like
park.
it's alive, man.
Yeah, it's really really cool. It's a great paint job, and so that's why I couldn't do it by phone personally for me, but you can if you want here at Toyota of Hollywood if you don't want to meet anybody, but you can come on in. Everybody's got a mask on pretty much, except for us here on the radio side, but that's about it. Everybody else in the building's got their mask. They'll take care of you, all that. So come on out here, 1841 North State Road 7. Got some great deals. They'll take care of you at Toyota of Hollywood.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com. A travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
right, welcome back. You want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. We're out here at, of course, Toyota of Hollywood. Just saw one of our listeners there. He came by. He had a nice Captain America shirt, and he had a doggy. He had a hot dog with him. Haven't seen one of those hot dogs in a while.
That would be a dachshund.
That's what they're called, dachshunds? Hot dogs?
That's what my grandmother, my Scottish grandmother, always had dachshunds.
Okay. They look like really cool dogs, like really nice dogs.
Actually,
always.
They were always Doc. And the first Doc, I'm like 4 or 5 years old. She had this like killer koi pond in the backyard, this little bridge. And yeah, the dog like would just chase me that, and I ended up running across the bridge. And of course, I stepped wrong and into the pond I went, and messed up that green slime and all that crap all over my St. John's uniform. My mom liked to kill me.
Can imagine. Yeah. All right.
I never ran across that bridge again.
Yeah. Those especially if it has a little algae on the bridge, you're screwed. Big O, I've listened to the Cleveland Browns going off on Brian Hoyer. The fact that this is his third stint with the New England Patriots tells me what they were thinking signing this guy as an undrafted free agent. You know what it is it's Belichick saying, I can coach anybody and I can make anybody a winner. And we'll see. We'll see if he can actually make Brian Hoyer a winner, which that would be crazy. During Marino's rookie year, the Dolphins ran a run-oriented offense. In '84, the loss of Andre Franklin was a catalyst that turned Marino loose, and the rest is history. That's called adjustments. That's my point. That Shula adjusted from one different offense to another. And different quarterbacks had different skill sets. And that's why, I have to say that there's very many factors involved in being successful. And yeah, you want stars, but you definitely need to have the right system in place. There's no doubt about that. Let's see, what else do I have here on the program that I wanted to talk about? Music-wise. I do want to get into a little bit of music before I get back into some sports, because there's a couple of interesting news and notes. One, the Babies are going to be streaming on Saturday, March 23rd at 8 o'clock.
Are they going to have
I don't know.
John with them?
I don't know, but I just saw it that the Babies are going to be,
Because, if he's not there, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's the Babies are missing.
Yeah.
I mean,
no. No, I mean, it's just forget about it. You can't,
you can't do it without him, right?
Yeah, you can't. What's it called? Okay, so Death Cab for Cutie is tonight at 7 o'clock. Have you caught any of them yet?
Yeah, acoustic. I caught the first one. It was all right.
Okay. Well, tonight at 7. You'll like this one, dude. Goo Goo Dolls, Saturday, 8 o'clock. They will be streaming.
Nice.
About that. Belle Biv DeVoe is going to be streaming May 28th. Okay. So that'll be next week, Thursday at 9 o'clock Eastern. So, hey, big butt and a smile. You can't trust a big butt and a smile. You know what they say about that. It's probably a Kardashian. Anyway, was that song about predicting how Kardashians would be? I'm sorry. Anyway, the other thing that I saw in the news, Sammy Hagar is still hopeful of a Van Halen reunion. I don't know how many of you out there are big Van Hagar fans. That's what us Van Halen fans would call the Hagar style was Van Hagar. Van Halen was, Roth. Not that they called themselves that, but that was kind of like the inside thing that we would call each other, the band. And so Sammy Hagar, talking with Rolling Stone, says he remains hopeful that past barriers will eventually be broken down and that one day Van Halen will return to the concert stage, hopefully with himself having some involvement. Until Ed or Alex Van Halen die, they're not finished, he explained. Those are two great musicians that can freaking do as good as most people at half-mast. As a drummer and as a guitarist and creative person, Eddie, I can't see them ever being finished. I wish they were more active, but I think Van Halen will never be finished. He continued, if they want to get it together, they just have to call Dave or have to call Sammy. They can go out with Wolfie as a trio, but that's not the legacy of Van Halen. I think they know that. I'm not predicting what's going to happen, but I would tell you if there's concerts next year, Van Halen will probably tour next year. Hager revealed that there have been some discussions of Michael Anthony returning to the band in 19, but it never came to fruition. And then Van Halen's health, however, the guitarist was spotted in public on several occasions not long after, easing some of the concerns. He says, I don't know exactly what happened to him, but I think he had back surgery, speculates Hager. Eddie has had a lot of health issues, but I heard he got it together. I pray for the guy. I love the guy. Now, I'll tell you this. The David Lee Roth version of Van Halen to me is not that sexy anymore, okay, because of Roth, because he just, he never had a great voice as it is. It just had a nice bluesy rock sound to it back in the day, but he can't achieve that sound anymore. And it wasn't like he was singing on notes all the time. He was off note all the time and all that, but it was just, it was a good sound for them. It wasn't that he had a great voice. And now, forget about it. Now it's like really, really bad. So what I would tell you is I don't mind if they get back with Roth. I'll still go because I want to go see Eddie play. And I always enjoy that. But the Hager one, I wouldn't mind seeing only because I know it would be a better sounding concert because obviously Hager is superior in voice to David. Well, Hager has a voice. Sammy, what's it called? David does not. So now, the other thing I like about this story is that Hager must have heard something positive about Eddie, which to me, as a fan, that's the part that I got excited about with this story because we've heard so many things about him having, all kinds of health issues. I'm glad to hear that those health issues looks like they're starting to subside now, and maybe we do get a Van Halen to come out next year. That would be really, really cool. All right, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can reach out to us on the YouTube chat board. The super chat is also available. Josh, Ray, Yeo, Wendy, Torrens chimed in. And you know what? I be remiss. I don't think I gave specific love to our super chatters yesterday. Drubo, Gus 1388, EM88, Ty in the Bronx, Dougie Fresh, Myron Sanchez chimed in, SM Fins, Tommy Italian 305. He did it a couple times. William Fonticella, Alexa V as always, Julius 305, Super Boom Shack, all of you yesterday. Thank you for chiming in on the super chat. And you guys are just absolutely amazing, giving us all that love on the super chat. The other thing is, bands have now been taking advantage of this COVID-19 pandemic, and they are out there putting stuff that you need to fight the pandemic, but with their logos on it. So they're marketing stuff on their own, right? So the Wu-Tang Clan, I don't know if you guys want to buy some, but it's called Protect Your Neck and Your Hands. Wu-Tang Clan launched a new line of products as part of a Better Tomorrow collection, which financially supports the Ottawa Food Bank, the Ottawa Missions Foundation, and Children's Hospital of Eastern Ontario. So they're not just doing it for money, they're doing it to help out some great causes. And one of those items is Protect Your Hands hand sanitizer, a citrus-scented plant-based vegan gel made with skincare company JUSU, Juso, or Jusu. For every hand sanitizer purchase, one bottle will be donated to the Ottawa Mission Foundation, and other homeless shelters throughout Canada. And you can see it. It's actually a really cool looking bottle from the Wu-Tang Clan. Okay? Isn't it sharp? I like it, actually. I might buy it just for the hell of it, just to at least, pitch in. Face masks are big. J Balvin has got a face mask. Kiss has got a face mask. The Weeknd has got a face mask. Now, proceeds are also going to charity for The Weeknd, but his face mask, The Weeknd, it's kind of a weak face mask, right? So these bands and artists are cashing in. Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande have got face masks also. Devo, they took out a face mask. Plus, they've got, you know the Devo hat, the red one? You know the Devo hat?
The cone bolt-looking thing, yeah.
They put a shield on it. Is that awesome? Is that awesome or what? They got the Devo red hat, from the Whip It video, and they put a shield on it, bro. Is that awesome? It's fantastic. And then they have their masks. Not much better than the Weeknd's. Okay? But they're all doing it. My Chemical Romance has got one. Megadeth has got a face mask. Korn's got face masks. So there you go. A bunch of these bands are getting in on the COVID craze. And I thought the Wu-Tang Clan hand sanitizer was actually really, really cool, man. I thought that was a trip. All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line, you can also reach out to us on Twitter. That's at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. We've got an NFL player that is mad at United Airlines. And the NFL player is suing United Airlines because he was sexually assaulted on the plane. And this is during a pandemic, okay? This is from TMZ. They obtained a statement from United which says the safety and well-being of our customers is always the top priority. In this instance, the customer involved was moved to a different seat because litigation is now pending. We're unable to provide further comment. So an anonymous NFL player, we don't know who he is, says he was sexually assaulted on a United Airlines plane and claims flight attendants didn't do much to stop it. So now he's suing. The player, under the alias of John Doe 1 in a new lawsuit, says a woman sexually harassed, assaulted, abused, and violated him during a flight. The unidentified footballer says the trip, a cross-country red-eye from Los Angeles to New Jersey, was a complete nightmare, and it made it worse by United staffers. In the suit, the man says he took his place in the middle seat, and when a woman sat in the window seat next to him, he claims he was immediately harassed over the safety mask he was wearing. The football player said he told her it was because of the growing coronavirus pandemic, but claims the woman hit and elbowed him and demanded he move seats nonetheless. The man says he and his friend, identified as John Doe 2 in the suit, observed the woman taking pills and believed to be under the influence. It sounds like she, when you do this, when a woman would be that brash to do this, if she did this, she's got to be wasted, right? In the suit, the NFL players claim that John Doe 2 got up to tell flight attendants about the woman harassing Doe 1, but they said they did nothing about it. The NFL player claims the woman then sexually assaulted him, groping and massaging his knee and thighs. He claims Doe 2 got up again to inform the flight attendants, but they still did nothing. In the suit, the NFLer claims the woman began to intensify her sexual assault, grabbing and groping his quads and then stroking her hand across his lap towards his inside near his genitals. He claims he immediately got up and pleaded with flight attendants to get the woman to stop, but he says the United employees did nothing more than issue a verbal warning to the woman. The NFL player then says the woman grabbed his private and ripped off his face mask, causing him to jump away and run towards flight attendants. While he was up, Doe 2 says the woman slid over to the middle seat and began sexually assaulting him as well. Well, now that your friend left, let me sexually assault you now.
Oh, no reason to go to the strip club.
Oh, man. And then this is the best part. The NFL player says he and Doe, too, were given $150 vouchers for their troubles. So now they're suing and seeking damages for negligence, infliction of emotional distress, and more. We reached out to the players' attorneys in this case, who would not confirm the NFLer's identity. The attorney, though, did issue a statement saying those who report assaults should not be ignored but believed. Their claims investigated and appropriate actions taken when warranted. And so United, by the way, has no comment on it, as expected. Now, I know some of you are going to get childish out there because a guy's like, well, hey, she's groping me. I'm going to let her
Let me kick you $150 for getting groped.
Yeah, it's like, no, but, for the average guy, he might enjoy it. But the problem is, if you're an NFL player, that is a lawsuit waiting to happen against you. Because then they're going to blame you that you led her on and all this stuff. And so when you're in a person of that position, athlete, entertainer, musician, politician, somebody famous and in power, you are a target. And you must live that way. I've said this on the show many, many times. I am of the belief that people that have money and influence and all that, you should only go out with people of the same ilk because they have as much to lose as you. Every time you go out with a normal person, you don't know if that person's a good person or not, and they could have the agenda going after you. Not that every other rich person or famous person is sane, but there's a much better chance that you're not going to be sued for a whole bunch of money because they have their own money and they don't want to go through lawsuits or any of that stuff either. So, you have a better chance of maybe even finding a relationship, maintaining a relationship, or even finding somebody you're equal at your same kind of risk. But if you're famous and you're going out with people that are not famous and not rich, you are risking so much. And when you're just hanging around normal people, you are risking so much because there are a lot of bad people and they have bad intentions. And so when you have a lot to lose, those are the people you want to avoid. But you don't know who they are. So that woman could easily have been trying to set that guy up so then she gets to sue him. Which, come on, don't you know there's a countersuit coming? Right? I mean, eventually it's going to happen. She's going to sue them and say that they wanted her to do this or whatever, that kind of stuff. It's disgusting, and it's actually sad that I would say that commentary, but I would tell you that if I was one of those kind of people, I would not be attempting to go out with the average person. No. I just think it would be way too risky at this point. Too many people are just after all the wrong things.
Oh, you'd like to go out? Let me see your checkbook, please.
Right. I mean, hey, women have been doing that for years. They kind of have to see what your financial resume is. It's been going on since high school. Do you got a car? If you don't have a car, it's going to be harder to go out in high school. Just is. It's hard to say, hey, you want to go out on Friday night? Yeah. Okay, meet me at the movies. Huh? You're not getting laid. You're not going out. Oh, and by the way, you're going to pick me up? Yeah, what do you got? An 88, 98 Oldsmobile. Huh? Yeah, you know what? I'll wait till you get a real car and we'll go out. That kind of stuff. I mean, they've been doing it forever, right? That's kind of what it is. I think if you're a famous, and it's woman or man, I don't care what you are, as a musician, as an athlete, as an entertainer, as a if you're a famous woman or man, I think you should try to be going out with people you're equal because you just got an easier path to find what you want. You know what I'm saying? But more lawsuits are coming from this NFL player.
Well, you don't become a potential target.
Right.
Right.
There's definitely 100% chance that you will not be a target. Yes. All right. What else do I have here on the program to talk about? Did you see the latest Mike Tyson video? watching this.
I saw one, I guess, like a week or two ago.
They just put out another one yesterday.
I mean,
no, he looks phenomenal.
He look, but like we've talked about with the Tua thing, how long is he doing it? You know.
Yeah. No.
You could punch and look bad for
wait a minute.
a minute.
Now, if
unfortunately, a round is 3. And then there's 10 rounds,
but
12 rounds.
But if it's an exhibition and he's going up against somebody else, and it's an exhibition and it's because look, you see it right, and in this TMZ video, you can watch the video and you can see him, and he's in amazing shape. There's the video. You can see it. And he's in great shape. He shows, killer speed for a 53-year-old guy. He's got a six-pack of abs and everything as you're watching it there. He is, I'm telling you, he looks great for a 53-year-old. But he is 53. Now, they're talking about a charity fight with Holyfield. That's all well and good. That's fun, okay? It's a charity fight. So not too much can happen. What I don't want out of all of this that I'm watching with TMZ here and with Mike Tyson, what I don't want is for him to take this seriously and then think that this is the right idea for me to go, this is the right path. I can make a comeback in my 50s and against these guys that are in the heavyweight division. The heavyweight division now is actually better left. And I don't want to see him because I thought a lot of us one of those tragic stories and it's going to end ugly and it'll be OD, it'll be something, whatever. And not that I look at him as a sane person, because I don't. But I think edge. Him through a lot of this stuff. He's made it not yet. Stuff and get into shape and do a little charity work for COVID-19 and all. If that's what he's doing in a one match type of, 2-3 round thing, exhibition with Holyfield, they'll probably do it for like a minute and a half or two. They're not going to do 3-minute rounds or anything like that. It'll be an exhibition type thing. If that's what they're doing and all well and good, that's fine. But my point is, if he's going to take this to the next step and think he can really get back into the ring and really fight, because there's some people out there that they think Tyson can go fight now. And Tyson, at the end of his career, was getting his ass kicked. And he was a badass then, like he is now, even at 53. But he is 53. Okay? And he wouldn't stand a chance with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury would abolish him, bro. And that's what I don't want, because now we're talking permanent damage. We're talking you're 53 now. You're taking on this punishment. I just hope he's doing this for fun. I hope he's living in the reality of doing a charity match. That's fine. That's all well and good. I just hope he doesn't take it serious. Because if he takes it serious, then I think it's going to crap out. By the way, our audio apparently is crapping out. Okay?
Oh, that would be the Wi-Fi.
I don't know. Yeah, might be. Might
I mean,
be.
it's
I don't know.
looking
Are
like
we
it's fine.
back?
Yeah,
Are we
it looks like-
back?
yeah, it's just intermittent. I've seen it flicker a
No,
couple
well,
times,
yeah,
but
there's-
nothing major.
These people were sending in text for quite a bit here, saying, "Oh, your audio sounds like something is not plugged in at all the way or something." No, it's all plugged in. It's what Bill says. It's the internet that got shaky a little bit, and then it went away.
Let me just say, these exhibition matches. Remember, there's two. Thunder Lips with Rocky,
Right,
and
yeah.
then Carl Weathers when he fought the Russian guy. And
right.
So
Yeah. Jay Johnson says George Foreman fought in his 50s. Yeah, but he was fighting. And he fought many fights at an older age. So it's a different thing for him than a guy that's been completely out of boxing for a long, long time, and it ended badly for him. It wasn't good for Tyson. Tyson started losing to people that were nobodies. So no. What was that last guy that he lost to? I even forgot the guy's name. I'll look it up for you now because I don't even remember now the name of the guy that he last lost to. That it was just one of those deals like you're like, really, dude? You're losing to this guy? It is time to turn it in. And so you're not going to end up getting any better later on. Let me see where it's at here. Kevin McBride. Okay, and he lost to Danny Williams. All right? And his last two fights to Danny Williams and Kevin McBride. He beat Cliff Etienne, lost to Lennox Lewis, beat Brian Nielsen. What is it? NC with Andrew Galata. Then he beat Lou Savarese, Julius Francis. An NC with Olin Norris. Beat Francis Botha. Lost to Vander Holyfield back-to-back. It was ugly, dude, down the stretch. I don't think people remember Tyson. That's the problem. I think some of you out there, it's 2005, his last fight. 2005, at 38 years old, he fought Kevin McBride and lost. And then he also lost to Danny Williams the year before. I mean, what's Danny Williams' record? All right, let me just look at Danny Williams' record. He won 54 fights and lost 28. Kevin McBride, 135, lost 10. Okay? So he lost to two guys that had a combined 38 losses in their careers in the last two fights. That's the problem with all of this. People have short-term memories, and if you're young, you don't know any better. But if you're older, you forgot about it because you only remember the greatness, which was a long time ago.
HBO contract.
I mean, the Evander Holyfield fights that he lost were in 96 and 97. And he got thoroughly dominated on those. Okay? I mean, he got schooled in those fights. He got schooled so bad that he had to bite somebody's ear off. Okay? Instead of no mas, I'll take a lobe. And that's exactly what he did. So that's why I'm saying if he takes this past the exhibition, we've got problems. Okay? What's the dog's name? Indy? For Indiana Jones. Okay. All right. So you got a Captain Hero shirt and you like Indiana Jones. So I already know where you're coming from. All right. Big Marvel guy, everything. Love it. Okay. All right. Good stuff, man. Thanks for listening to the show. Huh? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. You're listening to me since high school. So thanks for reminding me that I'm freaking old as hell. Appreciate that. How long was high school? Was it like 2 years ago? Yeah. Thanks a lot. Yeah, there you go. Hammer it away. 15 years ago. Yeah, I've been in the business a long time. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. How's that? Yes, thank you. That's very nice. Thank you. There you go. One of our listeners with his dog, Indy. I like it, for Indiana Jones. Cute dog. We're late, by the way.
You remember the fall of Tyson, man?
I was just talking about it.
It was when he specifically got with Don King, and
Don
King is not. Man, he's a promoter. He doesn't care about you.
It has nothing to do with Don King.
But
no, it has to do with Cusimano dying.
Well, that was
that's what it was.
Getting away from Rooney, but
no, it was Cusimano dying is what sent him over, because he didn't have the guy to keep him. He was the only person that Tyson would answer to respect.
When he got with Don King, remember, that's him coming off the contract with HBO.
Yeah.
That made him, actually, you remember this, the first $100 million athlete in the world because of Mike Tyson Punch-Out.
And Robin Givens and all that
HBO
mess.
Contract. But the thing is, he was fighting every 4 or 5 months and focused and fighting.
Well, that's the Cusimano stuff.
When he got out of that contract and got with Don King, remember, he took a year and whatever.
You keep talking contract. Dude, it's death. When Cusimano died, it was over for him. That's when he went overboard. Cuss was the only guy he answered to.
But he was still there with Rooney for...
No, but this is the guy that he respected. Tyson lost his guidance. Nobody else could guide Tyson. Not Robin Givens, not what's it called?
Supposedly his best punch was punching Robin Givens.
No promoters. Nobody could reach Tyson. Cusimano was the guy that could reach Tyson. Once he lost his father figure, that's it. He lost his way. And then that's why he made all the bad decisions. Robin Givens and the promoters and all that stuff, and lost a whole bunch of money and all that. But all I'm saying is, if he uses this more than an exhibition, we're headed for a lot of trouble and sad stuff for Mike Tyson. And where I was dead wrong about how his story was going to end, then it's back on track again. Because if somehow or another he thinks this is real for him, then he has completely lost touch of reality. So that's what I would tell you. All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We're at 1841 North State Road 7, baby. It is Toyota of Hollywood. We'll come back for the final segment. We'll wrap it up here on the show. Got a bunch of things to talk about. Paul Pierce is a moron. We'll share that next.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with zero down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
We back. Jay Johnson says Evander was using his head as a weapon in the ring. Mike told him to stop and complained to Mills Lane. Evander continued and Mike bit the ear. Evander was kicking his ass, dude. All right, I watched the fight. He outboxed him. And
Boxers will always beat punchers.
yeah, that's all. Mike Tyson
It's called boxing, not punching.
Mike Tyson had a limited game to him, and he could wipe you out with that punch. But if you knew how to box, like Evander did, Evander schooled his ass. Okay? If you know anything about boxing, all right, styles make fights. And that was a problem. Look, that was a terrible weight division at that time. That was the major problem in Mike Tyson's era, that heavyweights was terrible. Remember, Evander's not a heavyweight. Okay? He's a cruiserweight.
Michael Spinks had the heavyweight title for a while. I mean, to give you an idea.
It was a disgrace that the heavyweight division. Mike Tyson barely beat anybody good in his entire career. It's not his fault that the era was terrible, but the era now is way better than the one he fought in, actually. And then Holyfield, who's not a real heavyweight, had to go up to fight him.
Yeah.
And schooled him, dude. Schooled him.
It was a 2-year process for him to get to heavyweight. Remember?
If you're old enough, it's Sugar Ray Leonard and Duran. Sugar was stupid in the first fight, and he fought Duran's fight, and he lost. And then in the rematch, he was like, nah. I'm not standing there in the ring. I'm going to fight my fight. And what did he do? He boxed. And Duran was a much better boxer than Tyson in his heyday. And still Duran could not, because Sugar Ray is one of the greatest of all time. And Sugar just fought his fight, and it was over. Because when you can do, we can pick whatever, we can pick on Mayweather all we want. But when you can box, and you can defend, and you can hit, and you know how to not get hit, it's beautiful, bro. It's magical. When you can do the things that Sugar Ray does, when you can do the things that Mayweather does, when you can do the things that Barry Sanders could do, okay? Because Barry was that guy also, that he played running back and you never got a shot on him. It was rare that anybody got a good lick on Barry because it was just special, man. And when you can stick and move like that, that's what happened with the Holyfield Tyson thing. You can tell me all you want about headbutting and all that stuff. I don't want to hear about that, bro. They schooled him. I know enough about boxing. I've watched enough boxing in my 50 years. That was an absolute school job, Jay Johnson. That head stuff, that's a cheap-ass excuse.
Oh, got to be honest with you, man. See, because I loved Evander. He was an artificial. He came up, and it took him 2 years to put on the weight to be a heavyweight. Man, but seeing him and the way he talks and whatnot, bro, I don't want him to get hit by a Nerf ball.
He's punch
Not
drunk.
even hit by a Nerf ball, okay? Let alone a punch.
Yeah, he's punch drunk. There's no doubt. No doubt. Jay Johnson says, I don't blame him for biting the ear twice. I do blame him because, just do what Duran did. Just say, no mas, bro. I can't compete with you. That's all. The NBA was starting a way for fans to use VR to watch games virtually from an actual seat in the stands. I think the NFL developed something like that. Don't think the NBA version was live, though. Nobody's going to be in the stands, my man. I don't believe anybody will be in the stands, Pat. They can't. They're going to open themselves up to lawsuits. So that I just don't see that happening at all. We just got to live with the fact that that's just not the case. For now, that we'll get back to it, but we've got to, this is our new norm now, is what we have to do now in order to survive and, and get ahead. But I just don't see us having fans there at this point in time. All right, I got to get to Paul Pierce here. And Paul Pierce was doing an ESPN show with Jalen Rose, with Jay Williams, and I think it was the girl that's married with Jalen Rose. I forgot her name now.
No,
Molly Quirm. It wasn't Molly Quirm.
It wasn't her. No, it was the basketball player.
Oh, it was.
Yes. What's her name?
Oh, yes, Rachel Nichols.
No, not the one that does the.
Not
She
the
actually
jump.
played in the.
Oh,
she
that's
played
right.
basketball.
You're right. It was a female basketball player. You're right. No, wait a minute. Was it? No, wasn't it Maria Taylor? Because she's a volleyball player.
Okay.
So, but you're right.
She does
It was the wrong
college.
sport.
She does a lot of college football.
Oh yeah, she
and
does
so-
football.
yeah, she's really good.
She started in the SEC.
Yes.
I used to have her every year at the
Yes,
SEC
that's who it
media
is.
days.
Yep.
By the way, one of the most down to earth. She's so freaking cool.
Oh yeah, you could see it, man.
I
She's
am
really
one of the
cool.
I am one of the biggest Maria Taylor fans on the planet. Really, really awesome lady, man. So cool. Anyway, so Paul Pierce. You know, Paul Pierce has his crazy moments, right? And he had another crazy moment here, and I'm going to explain to you really where this crazy moment comes from. Here's Paul Pierce talking about the top 5 players of all time in his book, or in his eyes. Go ahead.
In Boston should get way more credit than we give him. And a lot of times he gets left out the conversation. So in saying that, Kareem, look at the names that I said: Kareem, Magic, Jordan, Tim Duncan, Kobe, Bird. These guys are all top 10 players who either help build up their organization or continue the tradition. And from LeBron, he went and put together a team in Miami.
I think there's a lot of
he came back to Cleveland to put that team together. And then he went to the Lakers, where a tradition has already been made, and we don't know, that's still to be continued. So in saying that, that's my argument.
Organization, it goes both ways, man. It ain't just like one player is the only thing that makes it happen. LeBron James wasn't surrounded by other great players. He had to go to a first-class organization in Miami to actually figure out what the standard of excellence was with Pat Riley and D. Wade and Mickey Harrison. Come on, man.
So who you blaming this on? What's
I'm
your
not blaming
point?
it on. I'm not blaming it on anything. I'm saying you don't need to make an organization great in order to be one of the greatest of all time. I don't have an obligation.
I didn't say he wasn't the greatest of all time. I did not
You
say
just said
he
he's
wasn't.
not. He's not top 5 on your rank. That's the way
He's
the
not top 5. You want to hear my top 5? You want to hear it again?
Sure.
You want to hear it again? Jordan.
Sure. Let me know.
Kareem, Russell, and you know who the 4th one is? Magic.
Who's the 5th?
Now you know who's in my top 5?
I'm not gonna say nothing right now.
Kobe Bryant.
Come on.
Oh, that's my top 5. Argue with it.
Nothing, Jalen?
I got to tell you, look, Paul Pierce hates LeBron James. He has hated LeBron James from the get-go because LeBron James ended their run in Boston. They got their big 3 together and all that, and they only won 1 title. That's it. And they were a really good team, but they won 1 title. It never became a dynasty, and they never even went back to multiple finals or anything like that. So I think Pierce and Game 6 in Boston, where LeBron, that was his coming out party. That was the game that he kind of shed all that stuff about big games and big moments and all that stuff. That was kind of the graduating moment for him. And it happened at Paul Pierce's expense. And then it became such a good situation in Miami that Ray Allen looked around and said, yeah, Paul, you're getting really old. And he basically, what Ray Allen did is what LeBron did to Wade and everybody else after the 4th year. You guys are breaking down. This is not good. I'm going to go to Cleveland. They've got a bunch of young guys. I can win with those guys now. And look, I have my own things with LeBron that I don't like. Okay? I hate the way he handled things, how he left Cleveland and how he left Miami. I think he did a piss poor job there. I think he was disrespectful to Pat Riley. I'll never forgive him for that. And I will root against him every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Okay? I'm grateful that he came here and we won the titles. That's great. We move on. It's like a bar of soap. I've used it. I'm getting rid of it. Okay? It does not matter to me. He does not matter to me. But I will say he's one of the 5 greatest players I've ever seen in my life. He's not Michael Jordan because He doesn't have that edge that Michael has and has always had from North Carolina on, that he will gut you like a fish, and he doesn't care who you are, okay? He is not passive-aggressive. He is the in-your-face guy. You get in his face, oh, okay, I'm going to get in your face now. He's the guy that is going to make sure he has the last word, no matter what goes on. LeBron James was never cut from that cloth. He never will be. It's rare. Those are hard to find, bro.
Yeah, he doesn't have that jugular, right? The
Jordans are those are the Muhammad Alis, bro. Those are the Edwin Moses of the world. Those are the Hank Aarons. Those are the guys, the Jackie Robinsons. Those are the guys that are not going to be denied. You're just not going to stop them from being the best at what they do. And LeBron is one of the best, but not the best. And I love Kobe. I think Kobe's an awesome player. LeBron's a better player than Kobe, dude. Kobe for a final shot, okay. But outside of that, LeBron is better than him in everything else. He's been a more efficient player overall. I get him having Kareem there. I get him having Magic. I get him having Russell there. Magic is one of those that, you tell me Magic or LeBron, I'm taking Magic. But LeBron is the better player. I have no problem with it because LeBron defensively, Magic would never come close to him that way. You know what I mean? So I have to put LeBron even ahead of Magic. Now, who do I want running my team? I want Magic, not LeBron. Okay? Because to me, Magic has that cutthroat type of attitude. He had it in Michigan State, and he's had it all throughout his life. He's been that guy. So to me, but I got to tell you, if I'm judging by the talent and what you bring to the table, I got to go LeBron, even over Magic. Can't argue with somebody that tells me that. But you're not going to have LeBron in your top 5. Why? Because you take it personal? Because he ended your run in Boston? Because you couldn't get over the Heat anymore at that point? That's all this is from. Nothing else. When the big three came together, it was over for the Celtics. They didn't have a shot anymore. That first year, Miami was kind of shaky, but then after that, they figured it out, and it was done.
Our big three supplanted their big three.
Well, we added the big four because we added Ray Allen.
Yeah,
so that's what I'm saying. That's what put him over the top. It was just like Ray Allen leaves them, and those guys have acted like complete bitches with Ray Allen. To this day, Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett are still absolute a-holes with Ray Allen. And it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. You're a free agent. You're allowed to go wherever the hell you want.
For less money.
And
right?
Ray did what he wanted, what was best for him. Just like Paul Pierce, bro. He's done what's best for him too. He left. And Kevin Garnett left Minnesota and went to Boston because he had to. Did what's best for him. That's what Ray Allen did. He left Milwaukee to go to Boston. Well, that was best for him. He didn't want to stay in the Bucks because he wasn't going to win. To me, this is all driven from jealousy and hate of LeBron. Anytime you hear Paul Pierce talk about LeBron, you feel and you sense the agenda that he has. He's never being completely objective with LeBron. I am not a LeBron fan anymore, okay? I already told you, the way he handled things here, that guy turned me off completely. I am not forgiving him for that because he set the team back a lot, waiting till after the moratorium, weakening Riley. He did it on purpose. I don't care what anybody tells me. And whatever, it was strategic for him, fine. It'll be personal for me. That's all. But I got to give him his due as a player. He's not Michael. He'll never be Michael. He can't be Michael. He may want to be Michael. He may want to call himself the greatest ever after the Cavs beat Seattle, and like he did in the what's that called, the Uninterrupted or whatever that show is. Oh, after we beat Golden State, I felt like I was the greatest of all time. Get the hell out of here. That's the thing. Michael's not even going to say that. He knows it. But he's not going to say it like that. He's not going to tell you in an interview, "Oh no, I'm the greatest of all time." He'll let us tell. He'll let us tell the story. Michael lets his talking tell the story. His play tell the story. That's the beauty. Whereas Mr. Passive Aggressive has to try to sell you on everything when he shouldn't have to, because his talent speaks for itself. His resume speaks for itself. It's just not as impeccable as Michael Jordan's, and it never will be. It's impossible from here on out. He may never even win a title again.
Thing about LeBron, man, offensively and defensively, to play anywhere between the 1 and the 5 and do it like he does, man.
Yeah.
You're talking Magic, right? His rookie year.
Right.
Because of Kareem
Right,
being
played
hurt.
the center.
Another guy that maybe I didn't get to see him, we were little. Oscar Robinson. That's a guy that's never mentioned, and that guy,
Right.
man,
Same thing.
like a man,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
huge and could play any position 1 through 5, man.
But you play in Milwaukee, you get forgotten. Dougie Fresh says, Mike was a student of boxing when Cuss was around. However, knockouts are a hell of a drug. Mike put the sweet science aside and just wanted the next KO fix. Exactly. Cuss was everything, bro. Cuss was everything. That was the only guy that kept him in line. And once Cuss died, it was over for Mike.
You ever see Tyson talk about boxing, man? He is one of the most
yeah.
astute historians
Yeah, he
of
loves
boxing,
Yeah,
man.
he loves
Like,
the sport.
He could tell you about Gentleman Jim Corbett,
Yeah.
And back in 1900, and I mean,
Yeah.
everything in between.
Yep. No. There's no doubt. Tyson is a really, really special dude. He loves the sport. But I gotta say, there's also a part of me that says both oars don't hit the water, and you gotta watch out with him. Hey, one more thing before we go. I read Guns N' Roses has rescheduled their 2020 American tour dates. Scorpions Queensryche has just postponed their Vegas residency. Foo Fighters, I'm sorry. And then Bauhaus is looking to reschedule their dates too. Let me ask you something. Why haven't these bands already done that? Who the hell's thinking about a concert this year? You got no shot. Venues aren't going to open up. Again, promoters aren't going to open themselves up to lawsuits. Bands aren't going to open themselves up to lawsuits. It's weird that up until this point, we still have people that were holding out some hope for what? This year. Everything should be rescheduled for 2021, at least. Because, of course, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope everybody's wrong. But they keep talking about this second wave that's going to be coming when the fall rolls around. So, again, just weird stuff. But it's just I see this all the time, and I don't understand. Now, one more thing to give you a heads up. Yesterday, I was wearing a Foo Fighters shirt. They are streaming their 2008 concert at London's Wembley Stadium. So go to their YouTube channel, which is what I will do this afternoon when I get home, and I'm going to watch that Foo Fighters concert back in 2008 at London's Wembley Stadium. That's pretty cool. There you go. King Short is saying, any word on Ozzy? I haven't heard anything yet with Ozzy. He is going to tour next year. That's his plan. Trying to recover from obviously the surgeries and everything else. I know he had to postpone some of his treatments because of COVID-19 for the Parkinson's, but he is planning on touring in 2021. And I'll tell you this. God, this is going to sound kind of cold, but I'm going to be brutally honest about it. I think Sharon definitely wants to get Ozzy back on the road. I think Sharon knows what that means to Ozzy. I think if Ozzy is not part of music and singing, I think it would expedite all the bad stuff. and it would make his Parkinson's worse. And all, not that I'm wishing on it on anybody or anything like that, but it just reminds me of damn it, what's his name? Joe Paterno. Joe Paterno had cancer, and once they fired him, that cancer ravaged his body and took over. And I think it's the depression of not being by football and not doing what he loves. And spiritually, I'm a big believer that you can, sometimes things like this can be put off. I don't know. You can't answer it. You can't control it or anything like that. But I think if Paterno still had football in his life, not that he would be alive to this day, but he would have lasted a few more years probably. I wouldn't be surprised because football was his life. And I think music is Ozzy's life. And I think if you take music away from Ozzy, I think his health issues become that much worse because you get up every day and you are inspired to do what you love, what you have lived for all your life. The day you're not able to get up and do what you love and what you live for, it is a depressing state. And then obviously that opens you up to all those other things that could possibly happen to you. So I think with Ozzy, I haven't heard anything new yet. And I don't think we're going to hear anything real, earth-shattering or anything like that for now. But I think they want to get him back on the road. I think Ozzy's dying to get back on the road because that's probably where he's best at right now. It's not like he's a party animal anymore at this point. He has so many health issues at this point that he is just happy to be able to do what he does. I'm just reading I'm just seeing an article now here on Ultimate Classic Rock. Joan Jett not comfortable in stadiums during COVID-19 pandemic. Rocker says she doesn't want to put the band or my crew in that position. So remember, she's part of that enormous comeback with Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and Poison.
Is she 70?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she is, right?
Yeah, she's pretty close to 70.
So,
if she's not
that's
70,
another factor.
She's, 68 or
Right on the cusp.
Yeah, she's right there, dude. She's got to be. Let me see. Oh no. She's younger than I thought. She's 61.
No.
She's 61.
You know what, man? You know what? You see what she's put herself through.
Oh, well,
where's she at? Yeah.
Oh man, she's been rocking since the 70s, bro, with the Runaways. So yeah, it's a crazy thing, but I'm not surprised that Joan Jett is saying that.
Yeah, that situation with like your life and living. Once you stop living, whatever it is you're doing, you start dying.
Yeah,
that's
definitely. Yeah, Super Boom Shack says I think Ozzy is done. If it is, I feel bad because then other things are going to set in. I'm afraid, and that I don't look forward to that. I feel bad for the guy. I hope he gets to get back on stage and do what he loves. And he can't do it like he used to either. So the fact that he can do whatever, like I saw him at Rockville 2 years ago, and, he did like 55 minutes or an hour, and, Zach Wilde did like a 15-minute solo with like 5 different Ozzy Black Sabbath songs. And then the drummer did like a 7 or 10 minute solo. So like 25 minutes of that 1 hour and a half show, or 125, was basically, the guitarist and the drummer, and Ozzy did just under an hour of singing. And that was headlining. And headliners for an hour and a half is not that impressive. You know what I mean? Foo Fighters did 2 hours the following night. And again, it's the Foo Fighters, and they're a lot younger, and obviously Dave Grohl's got energy for days because that guy is just absolutely amazing. Super Boom Shack says, I saw the Dio hologram show last year. That I would like to see that because that seems like it's a pretty cool idea with the rest of the band. They did have a singer also, if I remember correctly, right? It's not just the band, but I think they had a singer along with Dio, if I'm correct. So I think it was 2 guys. Big O, did you see the 24-hour team NHL playoff format? What's your take on it? Panthers will play the Islanders in the first round. Yeah, I saw that. And, I mean, look, this is the only way the Panthers can make the playoffs if they expand it to 24. You know what I mean? Let's see what happens in the playoffs. Let's see what they can do. It's hard for me to feel good about this team. I tried to give them every opportunity, and they have failed in every aspect of it, unfortunately. It's just a soft team. I just don't have a lot of hope for them. I hope they shock me. I hope this time off has been a blessing for them and a curse for everybody else, and that helps them in the playoffs, but I just don't see it. And in a 24-team format, you lose in the first round, that's sad, bro. That's sad. That's sad. And you got to play the team that eliminated you the last time in the playoffs, the Islanders, So, it's crazy. Crazy. What can you do? All right, we got to wrap it up here on the show. We got to thank, of course, all the amazing people out here at Toyota of Hollywood. Steve Ostrov, of course. See Herbie Lopez out there. Let me see. I thought I saw Tony Stampone. Oh, there's Tony Stampone. He's out there. Tony Stampone is in the house. Everybody's out here, man. So come on out here and check it out, man. Joel Rubio, Gary Thompson, Rick, Eddie, all the excellent people out here ready to take care of you at Toyota of Hollywood, 1841 North State Road 7. Come on by, whether you're buying or leasing a vehicle. Don't forget to mention our name, say the Big O Show, while you're here to purchase or lease that vehicle. As always, if it's a great way to support the show, watch it, all that. But if you visit our sponsors, make sure you tell them about us, because that's also very, very important. On behalf of Bill and Philippe, as always, thank you to those guys always making it happen. Most of all, we thank all of you out there for making it happen. Josh, Ray Grulin, Yeo Wendy Torrens on the Super Chat. Thank you.
Wow. Recent research has shown
Super Chat.
Makes no sense.
Yeah, you're getting focused on all the wrong sort of details here. You need to forget about all the normal rules that apply in society.
Wasted no time. Super Chat. I thought it was really, 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 really cool.
You should all be very proud of yourself.
I have no response.
Super Chat.
That was perfect.
It's a beautiful thing. Super chatting. Thank you all out there for super chatting as always. We will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we are at Craig Zinn's other dealership. We are at Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines. Today we're here at Toyota of Hollywood. Tomorrow at Acura Pembroke Pines. We'll be out there with Larry Schlossberg and the boys. So come on out and join us from 11 to 2 out there, 15601 Pines Boulevard. And, of course, if you're coming on down to Toyota of Hollywood, make sure you mention our name, all right? Be good out there.
Everybody be safe. Have a good night.